Nick Singleton. From the UNI Dome in Cedar Falls, Iowa, Jake Ryan along with Russ Nelson in the Allstate Insurance broadcast booth. Should be a fantastic ball game today. Number 3 and number 9, and a couple of great programs historically and a couple of great programs this season. We're looking forward to a fantastic ball game.
Well, you're going to see a lot of offense today. Hopefully we see a lot of defense as well.
Yeah, the Reavers' dark side, Snow College's defense, not too shabby, but it's the offense we'll be talking about all game long as the Reavers get set to take the opening kick from the Unidome in Cedar Falls, Iowa. So it will be Michael Zachary, who has done a number all season long on the return game. By far one of the most productive units in recent years is Zachary, just elusive every chance he gets. And your kicker today, getting set, is James Baird, the sophomore out of Northridge, Utah. Snow in the all-orange with the navy blue helmets, the block S on the side. The Reavers in their dark sail unis. Michael Zachary, a little miscommunication taken at the 3 instead by Daniel Isom. He'll rush back to the 20, 25. He's on a way, and he's brought down at the 33-yard line. Tackle on the play made by Snow's number 6, and that is Tyler Hill that brings him down. Great starting field position, although some early miscommunication. You saw it between Isom and Zachary. Michael was waiting for that football, and Daniel just didn't hear him.
Yeah, that was a little scary, but definitely made up for it, and Hill made a saving tackle because he was really taking that down, was Isom.
So here we go. The Reavers coming out. Their starting offense looks like this. TJ Starks at the QB. Milton Sargba will be the running back. Michael Zachary, Nick Singleton, Javante Richardson, Marcel Barbie, and Tanner Murphy, the tight end. Alex Vendetti, the starting center. He's ready with Starks behind him in the shotgun. Starks will throw immediately. It's Singleton that drops the football. Incomplete pass, and let's round out as the Reavers will have a 2nd and 10 coming away. Willie Tyler is the left tackle. Left guard is Kendrick Davis. Alex Venditti is your starting center. As I mentioned, Dalton Tomlinson, the right guard. Ja'Kai Baker is your right tackle. Iowa Western and Snow College just underway from Cedar Falls, Iowa. Graphic Edge Bowl. Reavers are 5-1 all time in this ball game. They have met Snow one prior time, Russ. You remember that one.
I sure do.
A very sore arm for Zach Stout, the starting quarterback for the Reavers, threw a record 75 times in a 48-36 Snow victory. Starks will line up, throws across the middle, and all over Singleton. No penalty marker comes in as the defense was very tight for a pair of Snow defenders. In there was Parker Workman and also Noah Purcell.
Yeah, I felt like he was reaching for it, but didn't throw the flag, and that's not where you want to be at 3rd and long.
Although now, there it is. I don't know where was the penalty marker at. So there's the penalty marker that comes in. It is pass interference like we thought it was.
Yeah.
But I don't know where the penalty marker was. Was it near side, Josh? Josh Otson, our statistician.
In the secondary, one of the far side judges threw it.
Was it in the Panther at midfield? Is that the problem?
I think so.
Oh, man, I tell you.
Yellow on yellow.
Yellow on yellow. Reavers ready on a 1st and 10. They move the ball up to the 44-yard line. Fake to Sargba and thrown out of the reach of Nick Singleton. So TJ and Nick must have a pregame bet where they must have how many plays can we go to each other in a row. That's the 3rd play for the Reavers and the 3rd straight target of Nick Singleton, ICCAC Player of the Year. Up front, Workman, Ossie, Gotel, Nevis for Snow, Lavaca, Noah Purcell, and Wynn are your linebackers. We'll talk about the defensive secondary in just a moment. Starks will take off on the run. TJ ahead of steam, and he still on his feet inside the 20, finally brought down by Snow's number 23, as that is Samote Lokotui that catches up with him, and TJ just hit an extra gear as he burst through the middle linebackers and all the way down to the 12-yard line of Snow. What a run for TJ. That's got to be a season's best.
Yeah, he just kept avoiding those orange jerseys and just kept going, and just a touchdown-saving tackle.
Starks set. Now they'll check to the sideline. Sargba, the running back, and now it'll be Starks that relays the info to his starting offensive line. A trip set to the far side of the field. Starks, hand off to Sargba, and Milton will drag the pile inside the 10, and the Reavers have a 2nd down coming up inside the Phil's comfort zone, red zone.
Well, don't be surprised if they're handing the ball off to Sargba to set up that TJ Starks quarterback keeper here soon.
As the Reavers get set for a second down, let's get the Pond Pros lawn and landscape game plan. Russ, what is it today?
Well, on defense, they're going to have to stop that run on first down, put them in predictable situations. Offensive line has to protect, and then finally, they just can't give up the big play.
And now they'll blow this dead. Will the Reavers call a timeout, or does Snow call a timeout? A false start against the Reavers. None of the above is the answer. So that'll move the Reavers back. It'll be 2nd and 12 as they will back out past the 12-yard line, the original line of scrimmage, to the 13.
Well, let's see.
2nd down and 11, I believe, is the correct down and distance. So the Reavers will have to come up with something different. It was a big run for TJ Starks that set up this play. What was that, Josh?
44 yards.
Longest of the season for TJ. Previous long had been 39, and now he'll roll out looking to the end zone, to the back, and that one's nearly intercepted by Snow. What a great play, getting a hand on it as it came through the middle. Pass intended for Javante Richardson. You got a number on the man that knocked that ball away?
I believe it was number 2, Leon Morgan, was right there. And
I thought Noah Purcell might have gotten a piece of it too, the middle linebacker.
They were both back there, and unfortunately the ball just held up in the air a little too long.
And the fans again, Snow, a 100% chance today in the Graphic Edge Bowl, but it happened at home as well. The Iowa Western band unable to make it because of the 4 to 8 inches they got throughout the Metro, and now a timeout for the Reavers with 13:10 left. We'll take the opportunity to check in with Josh for our In Motion Gymnastics Reaver in Motion. Josh Otson, what do you have today, my friend?
Well, this week we go to the hardwood for our Reaver in Motion. Former Reaver Isaiah Wade, now up in the Pacific Northwest, Pullman, Washington State. He's averaging 13 points, 6.7 rebounds in 3 games for the 4-2 Cougars. He's also picked up 1 start so far very early on in the season.
All right, that's our In Motion Gymnastics Reaver in Motion. As Iowa Western, always good to check in on those former Reavers. The timeout called for by Iowa Western, and of course, In Motion Gymnastics, everything from open gym to competitive gymnastics and bounce house and gymnastics parties. We're going to round out the season with one of those just for the crew. All right, you good with that?
If you're ready to see me do my backflips.
I am. And you know what? I just want to make sure you have a spotter because I don't want you doing anything silly.
Travis is our spotter.
Right.
Everybody knows that.
He's going to have to catch Russ is what we're talking about.
Yep.
InMotionCB.com, where you can find out more information on those gymnastics leagues, parties, bounce houses, and more. Reavers with a 3rd and 11 after the incompletion. Starks will drop back. Here comes pressure. They'll throw to the corner. That one's over the head of Javante Richardson. Double coverage for Snow College in the process. And they've got a bunch of great players back there, including a pair of guys with 5 interceptions apiece. One of them is Leon Morgan. The other is Alton Jones Jr., not even a starter on the 2-deep, but he is on the 2-deep. So now it'll be Hunter Pinniger for the field goal attempt. I believe a 30-yarder, if the math is right. Kicking into the north end zone as the Reavers have the ball first. Pinniger's kick. Nice, easy approach, but it's no good. Wide right, and the Reavers stay off the scoreboard. We'll take a quick break. Be back right after this. No score. 2018 Champions Game of the Graphic Edge Bowl on the Reavers Sports Network.
The Dr. John and Jean Marshall Wellness Center, opening summer of 2019.
Per game goes. Warren with 161 per game, 9.5 yards a carry, Russ, and they will give it to him again. He'll go to the near side. No, it's going to be a keeper by Braxton Kerr, the quarterback, and he'll round it out to the far side. It's a first down for Snow College with 12:37 remaining in the opening quarter.
When you have the nation's leading rusher, that play action is going to work really well, and that time Braxton Kerr did it really successful and was able to pick up the first down with his legs.
So they'll set up at the 40-yard line. Reavers miss a 30-yard field goal from Hunter Pinniger. Kicking has been their woes this year. Kerr sets up, throws to the near side, and it is into the reception waiting arms of number 3. That's Derek Wright that makes the catch, one of his favorite targets, as we talked with head coach Paul Peterson about that. Right on the season, he has had a heck of a year with 42 catches for 738 yards, and he makes his first of the game on that reception. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6 from the 44-yard line of Snow. They'll send a man in motion. That's Jalen Powell, and they will give it to the running back, nowhere to go, as Warren is brought down. Great tackle by the Reavers, number 55, Elijah James.
Yeah, Elijah was able to just slip the block right there and just get right to him, and that's what they need to do. They got to back him up in these situations.
So Kerr set to go. A loss on the play of 2 yards back to the 43-yard line. Now the sideline check for the Badgers. Again in those orange unis, the navy blue numbers outlined in white. And that blue helmet shining under the lights here at the Graphic Edge Bowl. Across the middle, great catch. And into traffic, great throw to the tight end. That's, I believe, the backup tight end. Nope, that is the starter, Chase Hess. In Ron Tuviasu, a couple of guys on that blocking part of the run, but it is Hess that converts the first down on 3rd down. So to the 47-yard line, still knocking on the door of Reaver territory. No score. 4 minutes into this one. 11 to play. Kerr, a bit of a high snap, quick handoff into the waiting arms of Jalen Warren. He wastes no time getting in to the second level. That's a first down, a gain of 10 on the play for number 20.
Well, you just see how fast he can move from side to side, and then when he decides to go north and south, he gets there in a hurry.
Clock ticking under 11 minutes. Kerr in the shotgun. Spread to both sides, twin receivers. Now they'll figure out a new one. Here's the snap again, a little bit high. And again, a quick hand up to Warren. Nice job by the Reavers getting in. I believe Elijah James making the tackle again.
Elijah.
Actually, Devin Drew as well.
Devin Drew, yep, was there with him to make the tackle. And that's what they need. They're going to need the front 4 to make the initial stops. When Warren is going through, they can't let him have an easy go of it.
Kerr ready. A gain of 2. Warren again picking his way toward the outside. Bounces off. And the Reavers, a rare missed tackle. He'll gain almost 4 out of it. And a 3rd down and very manageable coming your way for the Badgers of Snow College.
So kind of an interesting spot here for him at 3rd down. You have a running back like Warren who's leaving. I was going to say that is kind of a manageable down and distance for him to still run the football.
But they'll bring in Brandon Ellis, who will split out far side. Trips to the near side as the ball spotted on the far side hash. They head to the south end zone. Kerr, and the play is blown dead. He was going to go right up the middle, design quarterback keeper, and he had space to go as well. But movement beforehand will cost him 5 yards, and it'll shift into a 3rd down and 10 position.
Very advantageous for the Reavers. Puts them in a little bit more of a situation where they know that Kerr is probably going to have to throw the football. Let's see if the front 4 can get some pressure on him.
Here's the snap to Kerr in the gun. He'll throw, and that one is picked up by the Reavers. Simeon Gatling, as Willie O'Hara may have gotten a piece of it. The ball intended for Jalen Powell, and Simeon Gatling leaping up, grabbing his first INT of the season. And with 9:11 remaining in the first quarter, the first turnover of the game, and Iowa Western will take over at the 32-yard line.
Well, the pressure by the front line went right up the middle. That forced him to throw around a big target. Went off his hands, and Gatling was right there. Gives the ball back to the Reaver offense.
So the Reavers will set up. TJ Starks with Sargba. Play action, rolls to the right, throw downfield. Who will run under it? It's Nick Singleton, and he's got a big first down. He and Marcel Barbie both in the area, but Singleton in stride, and his momentum carries him out of bounds, a huge chunk of yardage, as the Reavers have got a Barley's Bar and Grill, 1st down and 10.
You see his strong hands. He reaches out, able to hold on to that football, He saw it up in the air and just had to run underneath it, and he did for the first down.
1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. Hand off to the man in motion, Michael Zachary. He's tripped up. Nice tackle on the play made by Snow's number 1. And that is Sherwin Lavaca, the outside linebacker that just got a piece of the shoe of Michael Zachary. Of course, Michael Zachary, the wrestling All-American, great balance, and he has been a real key for the Reavers. This time a fake to Zachary. Starks spinning, and now again wrapped up by Lavaca and friends. Also in on the tackle was number 23, that's Samote Lokotui.
So keep the line moving. The offensive line is getting a good push. They're able to rush the football and get positive yards.
Gain of 4 on the play, 3rd down and 1 for the Reavers. Knocking on the door of the red zone as well. Trying to convert. Here's Starks. Hand up to Sargba, nowhere to go. And Milton has to hang on to the football as well. Man, oh man, when I say it, I mean it. Big number 99. That was Sione Asi with the tackle. He just came right through and nowhere to go for Sargba. And the Reavers will set up to go for it on 4th down. And where's the ball spotted? At the 25. 4th down and 4 to go. 4-man front ready. Snow with an empty backfield against the Reavers. Now Starks will check the play. The front 4 itching for the Badgers. And now Starks will check out. Back into the gun. TJ ready to go. 4th down and 4. 3-step drop. Pressure coming. Throws across the middle. And it's caught for the Reavers. And Marcel Barbie's going to cut back to the right. He crosses the goal line. Fire the cannons. Touchdown Iowa Western.
The offensive line did just enough to give Starks enough time to find Barbie. And then Barbie, what a nice run after catch as he gets that, finds his way into the end zone.
Marcel Barbie, his 5th touchdown. Check that, the 6th touchdown of the season. The freshman out of Pueblo, Colorado. And TJ Starks, I believe that's TJ's 1st touchdown pass to Marcel Barbie this season. The rest of them have all come from the arm of Clay Bethard, and the extra point bangs off the upright. Same story, different game. 7:23 to play, Iowa Western 6, and the Snow College Badgers nothing. Back in a moment on the Reavers Sports Network. From the Graphic Edge Bowl in Cedar Falls, Iowa, the Unidome on the campus of the University of Northern Iowa. Taken by Snow College at the 3-yard line by the return man, Leon Morgan. And Leon Morgan speed to burn, and he burns it all the way past the 40. Great starting field position for the Badgers of Snow. Russ, Leach Camper Drive summary.
Well, it started off by Simeon Gatling intercepting that ball, and then the Reaver offense did the rest. 5 plays, 68 yards. It was TJ Starks finding Marcel Barbie from 25 yards out. The time of possession was 1:48. That lead here in the first quarter is 6-0 in favor of Iowa Western.
6-0 Reavers, but great field position for Snow all the way out to the 43-yard line. Kerr hands off to Warren. Warren picking his way forward. There's Michael Scott waiting for him. And Michael Scott, along with the help of Willie O'Hara and Perion Winfrey, brings him down. He just looks like he's going to be dangerous anytime he touches the ball, but that was a loss on the play of 2 yards. Great job by the Reavers getting that penetration.
And again, that's what they need to do. We need to free up the linebackers. Those defensive line needs to eat up those blocks.
Kerr sizing up his receiver, and he's hit immediately. Great catch, but Jamarian McDonald is there after Chase Hess hauls it in on the sideline. A minimal gain. Goes from 2nd and 12. Might have got 5 on that play out to the 47-yard line.
McDonald just timed it out perfect, hitting him right as he caught that ball. So great job of open field tackling.
Reavers ready on 3rd down and 7 to go. Throw to the outside, caught. Stepping out of the way was Jalen Powell initially, and then the Reavers just swarm him. Guess who? A little bit of everybody over there. Looks like O'Hara, Dostal, and Perrion Winfrey getting in the game as well. Check that. That was not Perrion Winfrey. That's Lamontre Harvey.
And I don't know if you noticed how fast O'Hara got over there. He is a quick middle linebacker, one of the reasons why he has so many tackles this season.
Now, one of those guys that came to Iowa Western looking for a chance, and tell you what, when he set foot on campus, the coaches were like, no way this guy can play. And he has turned in a fantastic sophomore season, setting the school's single-season kicking record. 5 seconds on the play clock. 4, 3, 2, 1. Here's the snap. It's low. Reavers going to bring some pressure. And now it's a low line drive kick. Bounces at the 32. And Snow will pick it up and down it just shy of the 25-yard line. So I'm not sure what kind of things were going on. Is that a penalty flag down at the 49-yard line right now?
There is.
High atop the Unidome, the University of Northern Iowa plays right here. And a fantastic facility for bowl games, especially in the month of December. Seems like this is the 7th trip here for the Reavers. And I think maybe it hasn't snowed twice in the times that we've been here, whether coming or going. So they're going to call illegal procedure against Snow College, and that'll be on number 87, the backup tight end.
They were trying to get him to come back onto the line and protect.
Yeah, and Tiavasu just didn't know where he was supposed to be. He was split out to the far side, so I don't know if he was supposed to be a gunner or perhaps he was coming in on the fake. Here's the call. First down for the Reavers. And it looks like they will spot the ball at the Iowa Western 23-yard line. 6-0 Iowa Western on a strike from TJ Starks to Marcel Barbie. Starks, of course, the transfer out of Kansas. Came in this season, has done a nice job along with Clay Beathard. And Clay didn't play the Reavers' last game a month ago against Highland because he had smashed his hand the game before against Butler on a helmet, and he was unable to grip a football. But he's had some time to rest. Of course, he is the brother of C.J. Beathard, the San Francisco 49ers quarterback, and the grandson of Bobby Beathard, the former NFL general manager. 5-yard penalty puts him to the 28-yard line. Starks ready with a trip set to the near side. Reavers going right to left in this opening quarter. Hand off to Milton, and the freshman out of Omaha North High School trips up, no gain on the play.
He tried to cut back, but almost too late. He had his momentum going to the right, was unable to really fully make that cutback move before he was tackled.
Here's the snap, a little bit low to Starks. He'll take off on the run, gets around the corner, 35, now steps and flies through the 40. Great job launching himself and sliding through a pair of defenders. It's a first down and 10 brought to you by Barley's Bar and Grill out to the Iowa Western 43-yard line.
And TJ gets up a little, looking like he might have landed a little awkwardly as you see him kind of limping off.
And it wouldn't be the first time, and I don't see Beathard coming off the sideline either. They're going to call a timeout, and head trainer Andrew Moore will come out to check the health of TJ Starks. So we've got Clay on our 2 deep right now, but perhaps he's not available today. And while we've got this timeout, we will take a 60-second timeout and be back right after this. Iowa Western 6, Snow College 0. This is the Graphic Edge Bowl from Cedar Falls, Iowa on the Reavers Sports Network. From the Unidome in Cedar Falls, Iowa, Jake Ryan along with Russ Nelson in the Allstate Insurance broadcast booth. Colton Wilwarding has come in at the QB spot. He is a sophomore out of Glenwood, Iowa. Played some wide receiver for the Reavers and was the third stringer last season and is the holder this year. A penalty on the run by Knife's West gave him a gain of 2. And now the penalty will bring him back. Russ, did you see what it was?
I did not catch on what it was.
And I don't think they made any announcement either. So here we go. It's first down, 15 to go. Must have been a false start against the Reavers. West will push forward. Again, Knife's West out of Lansdale, Pennsylvania, the redshirt sophomore transfer out of Delaware State. And that gets him to within spitting distance of the original line of scrimmage. Second down and 12 with 4 minutes to play.
Jake, the Reavers have the lead in this game 6-0, but you kind of feel the wind depleting out of the sails of the Reavers. You have TJ go out. You got the defense chomping at the bit.
Wilwarding rolls to the right. There's a throw to the sideline, a little bit low and outside, and that one will fall harmlessly to the turf against the Snow defense. Wilwarding, 6-footer, rolled out, had time to throw, but again, that throw on the run just tough to make. And now it will be Tanner Murphy out of the game in place of Javante Richardson, so they'll look to pass on 3rd and 11, an obvious statement as they need some yards to go. Trip set to the near side, twins to the far as an empty backfield awaits number 10, Colton Wilwarding. Pressure, nope, quick throw to Singleton. He turns it inside. He's going to be well short of a first down near the 45-yard line. And 4th down coming its way for the Reavers. Hunter Penniger on to kick it away, more than likely.
Just trying to find Singleton with a quick hit, let him do the rest with his legs. Snow defense too quick and swarms right to him.
So Hunter Penniger, Reavers number 29, has faked it one time this year where he's run it. Last year it was, I think, 5 times that he had converted a first down off of a fake punt. Penniger, here comes Snow, not falling for anything, and it's a high spiraling kick. Pretty looking too, and that will be fair caught just past the 20-yard line for Snow by Leon Morgan. And the Badgers have another opportunity. They've turned the ball over once and punted it away once. Reavers missed a field goal, got a touchdown, but they missed the extra point. That's why we sit at 6-0 with 3 minutes to go. Tell you what, you run the football a lot like Snow has done and like the Reavers have done, it really helps the clock run quite a bit faster than the normal spread attacks do when you're throwing the ball all over the field.
It sure does. The one thing, if you're the defense, though, you got to make sure not to be lulled to sleep by that run and be awake, be ready for that shot down deep.
Warren, the sweep to the far side, and Gerard Alton helps him get bumped out of bounds. Also there in support was the Reavers number 12, Rodney Owens, the free safety out of Nashville, Tennessee.
Warren,
Jake Ryan, Russ Nelson in the Allstate Insurance broadcast booth, Chet.
Warren, every time he has that ball, he just looks like such a strong runner, violent runner.
Kerr will throw. He's going to dump it off into the hands of Warren, and Warren slips a tackle before losing his balance. It was check that, it was Kalen Jennings over who got the initial contact. And then again, the Reavers secondary having to make sure that he was on the ground. 2.5 to play, opening quarter, 6-zip Reavers. 9th-ranked Snow College, of course, stumbling to Scottsdale earlier this season. And Eastern Arizona in their final game. Eastern Arizona presents a whole different type of problems with that triple option attack. Saw that a couple years ago with Holmes at this very bowl game against Iowa Western. It gave the Reaver D all sorts of fits. Kerr will hand it off to Warren. Elijah James chasing him down. Not much to go on, and on 3rd and 3, they will be shy of the first down by a pair of yards. The ball spotted at the 31.
The offensive line for the Badgers just trying to do that little shift blocking scheme as they're moving to their left. Warren goes to his left looking for a cutback lane, but he had black jerseys everywhere he looked.
So back to punt is Bunker Weimer, averaging 40 yards a kick on the season. And his second one of the day. Michael Zachary stands at the Reaver 37-yard line. Marcel Barbie got bumped just a little bit. He was hoping for the big return, and Michael Zachary fields it. Great coverage by Snow, getting in on the tackle right away. Nice job by number 32 on the play. That is Ma'a Hall, and Hall was not fooled at all by Michael Zachary's, well, I mean, he just devil may care, I suppose, if you could call it Michael Zachary there. Ma'a Hall, his 25th tackle of the season. So he brought him down. They'll give him forward progress to the 25-yard line. We have seen some things this year with Michael Zachary fielding the ball that is absolutely terrifying if you're a head coach. Let's just put it that way. A minute 19, Colton Wilwarding still the QB. Handoff to the Reaver running back and tackled immediately on the play. For Snow College, who'd you get on that truck?
Fotu, number 42, I believe.
As he sliced through. Isaac Fotu, backup defensive end. Of course, Coach Peterson, they play a lot of nickel in this scheme, and right now that's looks like what they've shifted back into. Wilwarding ready, 2nd down and 9 for the Reavers. Fakes the handoff, throw near side, and it's to Javante Richardson. Richardson trying to spin out, but it's a trio of Badgers that bring him down. Fotu in there, I believe, again, along with Samote Lokotui and Trace Tupe.
So what the Reavers are doing are just really short passes. Let's see if they let Colton take a little bit more of a shot downfield eventually.
Well, they're going to have to let him take a shot at something as Ja'Kai Baker, starting right tackle for I-Western, moves. And the penalty marker comes in. That'll cost him 5 back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 10 now with 20 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. Wind not a factor inside, obviously, so the Reavers will go ahead and continue this march. They will snap the ball. It's clocked now at 10 seconds. They've got a trip set in. Empty backfield for Colton Wilwarding. He gathers the football, throws down the middle of the field. It's nearly intercepted. And now they're going to say it is intercepted.
Yeah.
Looks like Noah Purcell, the man that dove in, number 47.
Yeah, somehow he managed to get his arms underneath that ball and scoop it up and keep it from hitting the turf.
And the ball spotted at the 35-yard line. So that's where he scooped it up. I thought perhaps it hit the turf, but we don't have the benefit of review for the officials here. And it will be Snow football. Both teams now with a turnover. Braxton Kerr set in the backfield. He will pass on 1st down. Throw down the middle. It's caught by Jalen Powell. And Powell hit immediately by Corey Hernandez on the play.
That was a big hit by Corey Hernandez, something we've seen him do more and more this season.
That'll be the end of the first quarter. Reavers lead at 6-0, but Snow on the march. They'll have a 1st and 10 from the Reaver 21 when we return. This is the 2018 Champions Game of the Graphic Edge Bowl in Cedar Falls, Iowa. You're listening to it and watching it on the Reaver Sports Network. A pair of plays in the end of each half. A pick 6 in the first and a fumble that led to the game-winning field goal as the fourth quarter wound down and the Reavers losing that opportunity for a national championship appearance in that 16-13 loss. Kerr looking to dump it off to Warren, and Warren was covered by Michael Scott. Smart decision that time by the starting QB for Snow to chuck it out of bounds.
Scott right there in coverage, and he was pretty close to that ball. It would have been interesting to see what he would have done if he would have able to intercept that. That would have been a lot of green space.
So now 3rd and 4 for Iowa Western's defense to try to prevent Snow from converting. 6-0, Reavers leading. Missing that extra point because it clanged up the right upright. Kerr looking to the end zone. Now he will scramble and run. Braxton Kerr inside the 10 and down to the 5-yard line before being brought down by the Reavers. It is a 1st and goal situation now for the Snow College Badgers.
And the Reavers are going to have to watch Kerr because that's now a couple times that he's tucked that ball and ran and picked up first downs.
So they will set up 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Kerr with Warren in the backfield to his right. Now they'll change up what they're doing. Get into that defensive look for the Reavers. Here's the snap. Turns to his left, and Warren nowhere to go. He's going to lose several on the play. Great penetration getting into the backfield quickly with Simeon Gatling. Also Michael Scott and Corey Hernandez for the Reavers.
Gatling was able to slow up Warren, not let him turn upfield and get ahead of steam.
Snap into the belly of Kerr. He'll fake it to Warren, and now it's a Chase Hess that is down to the 1-yard line. Nice tackle for Corey Hernandez to save the touchdown. 3rd down and goal, and a nice 7-yard pickup for Snow.
Again, just great play action by Kerr. He sold it that Warren had the ball and just rolls out back to his right, finding Hess.
Warren behind Kerr, directly behind him as they stand in the pistol. Check to the sideline, 12:40 and counting. Kerr will just get under center, push forward, and that's a touchdown for Snow. Across the goal line, and we're tied in Cedar Falls at 6 apiece. A 1-yard plunge for Braxton Kerr. It is his 5th rushing touchdown of the season, and that was the kind of thing you want to do, keep the defense off balance. Don't let them get that push. That's exactly what they did.
He just runs up, goes under center, and you know exactly what's going to happen, but when you get all those big bodies pushing you forward and backwards, and they was able to get his way into the end zone.
Here is James Baird, 60 of 69 on extra points this season. 70th touchdown scored for Snow. And the extra point, no problem, into the net. It's 7-6 as the Badgers have rallied to take a 1-point lead. 12:36 to play here in the 2nd quarter. Iowa Western trails the Badgers on the Reavers Sports Network.
Okay, it's decision time. I want to take classes I need, spend less time working to pay for them. I want flexibility to transfer my credits. I want to get started now. Find your path at iwcc.edu and get hands-on, real-world experience. Start now at Iowa West.
Falls, Iowa, the Allstate Insurance broadcast booth. Jake Ryan along with Russ Nelson, Josh Otson, our statistician, Travis Jacobson, social media coordinator and sideline announcer. We will go, of course, at the end of this quarter and talk with head coach Scott Strohmeyer as the teams head to the locker rooms. Our Quorum's conversation with the coach brought to you by Quorum's Flowers in Council Bluffs. Touchdown for Braxton Kerr, a 1-yard plunge, and the extra point good. And the Badgers lead it 7-6, very far from home. Here's the kick for James Baird, and it will be Michael Zachary taking it at the 2-yard line, out to the 15, the 20, cuts back, slipped up a little bit, and now his momentum will be stopped around the 28-yard line. Penalty marker in to close the play out.
Yeah, you were hoping that you could have a big return by the Reavers.
And we'll get the penalty call here in just a moment. We welcome those watching on Channel 10 on Centricom in San Pete and Sevier counties in Utah, and of course those watching on Snow Television as well. So a block in the back against the Reavers comes against tailback Gayflor Flomo, and that'll push him a little bit farther back. We also welcome in those watching on Reaver Vision today, Iowa Western Television. The crew driving up, led by Craig Carlson, J.J. Davis, Brent Pentecost. Hard-working guys, battled the snow, battled some accidents on the interstate this morning, and got here and have set up and brought this broadcast to you in beautiful HD quality. As we are just in front of 4 o'clock in the Central Time Zone. Second quarter action continues as the Reavers will set up after the penalty at the 16-yard line. First down and 10. TJ Starks is back in the game. He will throw quickly into the hands of Nick Singleton. Singleton, hands to the face against Snow, but not called for.
Yeah,
and there's multiple penalties that come in. It looked like as he was trying to make the tackle, reaching up was Kahi Neves. And then as Singleton got out of bounds, a couple of Snow College players hit him out of bounds. I believe that will be what's the call because the penalty marker didn't come in on the contact to the face.
And let's hope Nick is okay. We really need him in this game.
Reavers on that west sideline right in front of us. Snow occupying the east sideline. And the officials still sorting it out. Your details brought to you by Quality Ink Tattoo in Omaha. You can check out their work online at qualityinktattoo.com. And of course, so it is a late hit by Trace Toupe. And Toupe just playing hard. And Singleton, I don't believe I see him. In fact, Bennett Spry has checked in for the Reavers in his position. We'll hope that Nick is back sooner than later. ICCAC offensive player of the season, as he and Elijah James did work. Elijah, the defensive player of the conference. Tell you what, that's where the talent comes from. Snow dominated out in the Western States Football League, and the Reavers took care of business in the ICCAC. Also, for the most part, in the Jayhawk Conference, but that one slip-up to Garden City.
And it was a game of what-ifs, and just a couple things we could have said, what if it went this way instead of that? But at the end of the day, you can't have what-ifs if you want to win the ball game.
So the Reavers still trying to figure out where the penalty is going to be. They move it to the 34-yard line. TJ Starks, the transfer. As you see what he's done this season. Snap to TJ. TJ on the run outside. Bennett Spry makes the catch. And he's pushed out of bounds by Snow's number 29, Alton Jones Jr. Nice catch for Bennett. Only his second of the season. Check that, his third of the season.
Great job of coming in and making sure he's not cold. Goes right to him and gets 2 feet in bounds, not just one. Secures it, makes sure to move him forward.
Gain of 4, second down and 6 for Iowa Western. Starks again, this time a handoff to Sargba, reaching out and bringing him down. No, he's still on his feet. Ossie got a chance at him, and then Sargba just kept churning. And finally the tackle for another big man. It is number 93 on the play. Let me make sure I don't want to mispronounce his name. Taulongi is how you say Tavita's name, last name. Tavita Taulongi with the tackle of Milton Sargba. Now empty backfield for the Reavers. 3rd and 5. Starks drops back, looking downfield. Now he's coming out of pressure. Starks will set up. Again, he'll race back, this time to the near side. Looking downfield, who's coming back? It is going to be Michael Zachary that has no. He dropped the football at the 45-yard line of Snow. Great coverage for the Badgers, as coming back into coverage was Sione Ossie, and also there was Samote Lokotui. And a nice job making sure that Michael Zachary couldn't pull that one in. It's 4th down, and the Reavers will kick it away again.
TJ just doing the best he could to keep buying more and more extra time. But at least he looks no worse for the wear as he was running during that play.
Leon Morgan set to return this kick. He's returned one punt for a touchdown this season. 304 total punt return yards coming into the Graphic Edge Bowl. And it will be another great kick for Pinnegar, although it's going to be easily fielded at the 16-yard line by Morgan. Here come the Reavers and nowhere to go. Good job getting back. And the man that made the tackle, Darius Moore, he made it possible, and then some of his teammates contributing as well. I believe it was Vance Gibson, the Reavers' long snapper, that got in there to help make that tackle.
Great special teams coverage, making sure that the dangerous receiver wasn't able to make more out of that, and you hope that the Reaver defense can come back here, keep driving them back, hopefully maybe even provide a turnover of their own here. We've seen it happen once when Simeon Gatling had an interception.
It'll be Kerr, throw down the middle, great catch by Hess, and he's off to the races. No, he runs into his own man, and now the Reavers will get a chance to bring him down. He looked to be sprinting ahead, Rodney Owens and Willie O'Hara getting in on the tackle, but that one almost to midfield by the time it's all said and done. From the 48-yard line is where they'll go. A gain of 33 on the play. Fake play action, Kerr rolls to the right side, and that one is dumped and may have been hit on the play by the Reavers. I don't know if he got a piece of it. That's Devin Drew that raced outside. Either way, it is going to be 2nd down and 10. So Snow going very quickly, trying to keep the Reavers off balance after that big play to the tight end Chase Hess. Kerr, hard count, nobody goes. They'll check the sideline and work a new play in. 48-yard line, 2nd and 10, 7-6 your score, 10.5 to play in the opening quarter, the opening half. Hand off to Jalen Warren. He cuts back to the left side. Again, a good tackle. This time it's Reaver linebacker Kalen Jennings, the sophomore out of Southeast Polk High School in Des Moines, Iowa.
The Reavers are forcing a third and a little bit longer situation. So, again, you hope to force them into where you know their play call. You think that this would be a pass. You get your down lineman, get that penetration upfield.
Gain of 3, it's 3rd and 7. Kerr throws to the far side, and the Reavers saw it. Chase Hess did not. Rodney Owens couldn't come back enough, and Jamarian McDonald just couldn't catch up with it. And it's 4th down for Snow. They'll bring in their punting unit.
Great job by the defense. They give up that long pass reception to Chase Hess, but then really shut it down after that.
Jake Ryan along with Russ Nelson in the Allstate Insurance broadcast booth. It's brought to you by our friend at Allstate Insurance, Mr. Steve Cates. Of course, he can be found online with the Google search CATES. Bunker Weimer on to put it away again. On the season, Bunker has pinned opponents 8 times inside the 20. And here's the snap. It's way high, but he settles it down. It might be a fake. In fact, it is. Bunker Weimer across the 50, across the 40, turns it upfield, and finally he's knocked down on the play by Danny Cook, the sophomore for the Reavers.
Well, unfortunate. The Reavers did not see him running with that until it was too late, and he was able to pick it up.
Had the full return on, just sent one man, and the snap was high. And Weimer did a good job of selling it to his right, cut back to his left, and he had wide open spaces. And he is down now to, looks like they'll mark that all at the 33-yard line. And now a 5-yard penalty against Snow before they can get the offense on the field on the substitution infraction.
And I wonder if that snap was by design, because I tell you what, that
it almost seems like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He didn't seem to panic at all. That's what the Reavers have been known time to time, to take a snap that looks a little bit off kilter and convert it into good news. And now they will blow the play dead again. Braxton Kerr, quarterback, checking out the officials, seeing what they're going to call this time. By the way, there's no game clock in the north end zone here at the Graphic Edge Bowl. It is only on the scoreboard in the south end zone. We noticed it unusual earlier. They've got a huge video board inside this arena, but it is currently just displaying a couple logos of the bowl and NJCAA football, which is great, but there's nowhere to tell how much game time is left if you're trying to count down the seconds.
So I'm not sure what the long discussion is. They are definitely trying to sort it out.
Reminder that our Papa John's trivia question is coming up later in the quarter. Reavers and Snow College meeting for the second time, and perhaps the question will have something to do with touchdowns scored by Iowa Western. A fake handoff, play action again. Kerr down the sideline, and it's batted away. Nice play as he ran it right down the far side hash. And getting there and knocking it away was Monte McGarry for the Reavers. Great play by number 20, the redshirt sophomore out of Omaha South High School.
Just makes a fist, punches it out there just like they teach you. It looked like he was maybe going to get beat by the play. He catches up and disrupts the reception and brings up second down.
Had the man right down the seam. Great job by McGarry staying with it. Hand off to Warren. Warren picks his way back left side. He's got an opening, still on his feet, and finally he's wrapped up Elijah James after he's slowed down on the play by Jamarian McDonald.
Boy, Warren does not stop moving those legs.
Fantastic cutback for Warren. On the year, 136 carries, 1294. He is well above the 1,300-yard mark now. Kerr set. Here's the snap. Handoff again. No, it's a throw to the far side, and that ball is incomplete, intended for Jalen Powell. Now to pick him up for the Reavers is Drew Dostal, the backup strong safety from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. We are in Cedar Falls, Iowa right now in the Unidome on the campus of the University of Northern Iowa. They play in the Missouri Valley Conference, and I believe their last football game of the season was against Lamar a couple weeks ago. At least home football games. Snap to Kerr, handoff again to Warren. Looks into the middle, and he's got a great head of steam, but Dostal is there to just hit his feet in time to keep him out of the red zone and shy of a first down.
And I think that's what you're going to have to do to bring down Warren. You got to get him around the bottom of the legs, because if you get him around that waist, he's just a strong runner and will run right through it.
There's Drew Dostal. A couple of good plays in a row as he gives Corey Hernandez a break at that strong safety spot. Kerr ready with Chase Hess to his left in front, and the tailback Warren. It will be another handoff. No, it's going to be Kerr. Keeps it to the far side. Did he get enough? Looks like this spot will be close. 4th down and inches or a first down. And it will be just shy of the first.
And I thought it was closer than even where they spotted it.
Kerr again will get under center. Tries to get forward, and I'm not sure if he got it this time. As he surges forward, Reavers think they've got to stop, at least Devin Drew does. And so do the rest of them. Let's see where the spot is and if it requires a measurement or not. Needed the 17-yard line. And that ball looks like it's at the 18, but we'll see what they sort out. And here comes the chain gang.
No chains needed.
No chains needed. A Tuffy Tyronado defensive stand for Iowa Western's dark side defense. That's a big one right there, Russ. You've already got Snow leading by a point because of the missed extra point that the Reavers had. And now a chance to turn it the other way.
And they had all the momentum going their direction. Picking up that fake punt kept the drive alive. Defense held strong.
Welcome in those folks listening in the lovely state of New Jersey. I know that Monroe out of New York played earlier in this game against Iowa Central. Lots of Reaver Nation listening in throughout the country. Javante Richardson to the far side. Takes exception to Leon Morgan making the tackle.
Well, Leon just kind of held Javante's leg for a little bit more than Javante thought he should. We've already seen one unsportsmanlike late hit out of bounds.
Reavers ready. Hand off to Sargman. No, maybe. I don't know. Did Starks keep it? And it is Starks that kept the football.
It was almost as if neither one of them wanted to give up the rock. So after a good first down pass to Richardson, a second down run will back him up.
7-6 your score, 7:27 to go. Starks in trouble, now he falls down at the 20. So the Reavers will have to punt it away again as TJ went to cut and his leg slid out from underneath him. This turf is 2 years old, if you're wondering, in this arena, but they often roll it up for special events. So it isn't like it's situated perfectly, and there are a few spots where you step near a seam that it will give a slight bit. And that time TJ just lost his footing. So Hunter Pinniger will be on to boot it away deep in their own territory. He stands at the Reavers 6-yard line. The plus is that the Reavers got a 4th down stop. The bad thing is that they go 3 and out. Bounces at the 47, and now still heading downfield. Great Reaver roll, and it will trickle down toward the 35 and finally be picked up at the 36-yard line of Snow. That's where the Badgers will take over. Another possession coming. 6:35 to go. 7-6 your score as Snow leads on a 1-yard touchdown run and extra point by Braxton Kerr, their starting QB. He's one of those guys, Russ, that you get at a JUCO that you really treasure the fact that they're leading your offense. And the Reavers have had that over the years. Just use Jake Waters, for example. He was a redshirt in their system, and look where it led. A national title back in 2012. You had the same thing coming into this year with Kurt Walding, but Arizona State needed a quarterback late, and off he went to Tempe. A direct snap this time to Warren, and a couple of yards, for maybe a yard for Warren, as Kerr just went to the outside. So watch that play later on in the game. With the direct snap to Warren, you don't want to see Braxton Kerr making a catch on that play.
Exactly, and that's what Snow's probably going to have to do later as this game progresses, is mix up their offense. 2nd
and 9. This time it's Kerr with a direct handoff to Jalen Warren. Nice tackle, undercut on the far side. And that time it's Andra Gilbert, number 13 for the Reavers, slipping in and knocking him off his feet. Again, the good tackles on Warren have been low around the shins and just bringing him down. Another no-gain occurrence, and it will remain 3rd and 9.
And you're exactly right. And one thing they're doing is everybody's contributing. You have some names that we haven't necessarily called throughout the season, but they're in this game for one reason or another, and they're still making those tackles.
Braxton Kerr set, that big block S on the side of his helmet, looking downfield, and now pressure coming, tries to get rid of it, and where's the penalty marker there? It was inside the tackle box. How is that not intentional grounding?
Well, and what they are, wow.
So Braxton Kerr fights.
There
and before he's brought down, he dumps the ball off, and the penalty marker does come in very late, and they'll lose the yards and lose the down. Big play by the Reavers as they, I mean, how many Reavers weren't in there? That's the bigger question.
Well, you had basically all the front four just taking turns at taking a shot at Kerr, and you got to credit Kerr. He was fighting for his life and managed to get the throw away, but
6'2", 200-pounder was not going down easily.
Definitely intentional grounding, and this should give the Reavers some very good field position.
All the way back to the 24-yard line, 4th down and 22. I would think that Bunker Weimer will not fake this punt, although we've guessed wrong before. Here's the snap, and the Reavers bring full pressure. Michael Zachary at the 38-yard line, and he's immediately drilled. Snow is absolutely on it in regards to the special teams. Tackle made by Ma'a Hall as he got back quickly. A little bit of assistance from Sio Kautai. And again, Michael Zachary does not fair catch the football. He says, they've got to let me catch it.
Yeah.
I might as well, but I tell you what, Snow has been watching the film. They are timing it perfectly. That's the second time they've hit him almost exactly when he needs to be hit, which is right after the catch.
Which it can be very dangerous because that's when the ball can be disrupted and come flying out. So you got to be very careful if you're Michael Zachary.
From the 38-yard line in Reaver territory, TJ Starks. Knife East West is the backer. Starks down the field. Marcel Barbie, he's got it. He's in for the touchdown. Fire the cannons. The Reavers take the lead.
Wow. I mean, how that ball was in the air forever. And again, you see another receiver for Iowa Western just hauling out, running as fast as they can, making sure they get underneath it.
62 yards to Marcel Barbie. his second touchdown of the game, 7 on the season now, and now the Reavers will kick the extra point to try to put themselves back up 6. Surprised they don't go for 2 here. They'll blow this play dead beforehand. Why not make it tougher on Hunter? What a catch by Marcel Barbie, and what a throw by TJ Starks. Hits him perfectly in stride.
And they're getting the defense here.
So the Reavers, the point went through. I believe that's what the discussion is. If they're going to move them half the distance to the goal, put in your big unit and go for 2.
Exactly.
Coach Stroh doesn't usually go for 2. Man, here's that replay as we see it on our end. What a catch. And he was way out in front of number 7, Joe Ofengawe. So they're going to replay the down.
And I agree with you, Jake. I say go for 2. Keep the ball in TJ's hands. Don't even hand it off and let him find his way into the end zone. But they're going to go for it, as in go for the PAT, that is.
So they're going to try it again. 0 for 1 on the day, Hunter Penninger. Eddie Ogamba, the kicker, early in the season, he had struggles. And Penninger has stepped in to take that role. Just inconsistent for the Reavers. And you can blame out of doors, you can blame whatever you want, but they just got to be able to find a way to punch it in. It's like not making your free throws in a basketball game. You got to have those points. 13-7, that kick is good. It's brought to you by Papa John's of Council Bluffs. Extra points, extra toppings on your pizza. Papa John's reminds you when the Reavers win, so do you with the code Reavers50. Iowa Western 13, Snow College 7. Back in a moment on the Reavers Sports Network.
It's decision.
"62 yards to Marcel Barbie will get your Leach Camper Drive summary, although I may have just ruined it for Russ Nelson.
Oh.
I apologize for that. Hunter Penninger's kick spiraling toward the far side of the field, taken at the 4-yard line. And here comes Leon Morgan. My goodness, look at the acceleration to the 45 and finally out of bounds near midfield. I don't think that's laundry. I think it's somebody's towel on the far side. That comes out. Leon Morgan, what a weapon. Holy cow. He caught that ball and the legs were churning quickly. And that's something we haven't seen Michael Zachary be able to do today. On the year, Morgan with 500 plus kickoff return yards, and he adds that one. That probably put him over 600 on that return. 4:57 to play, and there is a penalty on the play, or do they mark him just out of bounds at the 45? That must have been where it was. Thought he was closer than that, but that's where the spot comes in. From the 45, Reavers weren't set, and it's a quick snap for Snow. They'll hand it off to Warren. Jalen Warren, the ball carrier. Willie O'Hara that helps make the tackle. A couple of the defensive linemen in there for the Reavers as well.
Really quick, I'm going to give you that drive summary by Leach Camper. One play, 62 yards, took 9 seconds off the clock. Of course, it was TJ to Marcel Barbie. The PAT goes through that lead back up to 13-7 for the Reavers.
There's a throw to the outside, complete to the tight end Hess, and Chase Hess is upended on the far side by the Reavers, number 7, Daniel Isom.
Well, Hess is quite the weapon out there, as you've seen him be targeted a few times already, and when they do, it seems like they're for big chunks of yards.
To the 42-yard line, first down and 10 for Snow. 4 minutes, 20 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Coming up at halftime, Phil's Comfort Zone halftime report. As another hand up to Warren, he's drugged down again. This time it's Devin Drew that gets in, along with Monte McGarry and I believe Simeon Gatling. Even Elijah James was around the football.
And again, like we've been saying, Devin Drew just diving for those legs. You got to trip up, Warren. Don't let him keep moving those legs around. You just basically wrap him up around the ankles, and he's not going to be able to run through that.
So Snow will set up. Big set with Warren and also Brandon Ellis in the backfield. Excuse me, that is Barlow that splits out. Kerr sets up, and the ball knocked down. Nice play by Willie O'Hara, anticipating fantastically as he knocks it to the turf, unable to come up with his 4th INT of the year. But he bats the ball down. Kerr had forever to throw as they brought in their backup tandem of tailbacks, Ellis and Barlow, in the backfield. Now Kerr will send Barlow out to the left side. Empty backfield for Braxton Kerr. 3rd down and 10. Ball at the Reaver 42-yard line. Iowa Western leading 13-7.
We saw earlier where Kerr was going to go with a quarterback sneak on this one, as our quarterback draw, that is.
Kerr will set up, throws, and it's perfectly caught by the running back. That's Weston Barlow that races out to grab it. 4th reception of the year for Barlow, and it's a big first down for the Snow Badgers.
You got to credit the Badgers' offensive line. They're doing a good job of giving Kerr enough time in the pocket and letting them survey the field.
Kerr again, this time he'll throw into the hands of Powell, who's wrapped up immediately by Isom and Hernandez for Iowa Western.
Yeah, they're just doing a lot of quick throws, and the defensive line is going to have to start getting their hands up and try to block some of those passing lanes.
Barlow will split wide right, trips to the near side in an empty backfield for Kerr. Braxton drops back, throws to the end zone. Powell is there. It's going to be knocked away by Jamarian McDonald. And McDonald had a chance at the INT and just caught the ball off his hands awkwardly. And it's 3rd down and 4 to go for the Snow Badgers.
Yeah, it's almost like he was twisting in the air, but twisting the wrong direction away from the football, so unable to make an interception.
Barlow again in the backfield. He'll move from behind Kerr to the right of him. Kerr steps to the line, now back a couple steps, ready to go. Under 3 minutes to play. Snow trailing by 6. Throw inside the slot, and it's going to be caught by Keyshawn McCoy for a first down. Gets just enough inside the 15. Down to the 14-yard line. The chains will move. It's 1st and 10 with a chance to convert another first down before scoring for Snow.
Just a quick inside slant for McCoy, and that's all he needed for the first down.
53 points a game the Badgers average. The Reaver dark side very stingy, only 14 points a game. Braxton Kerr, hard snap. Now steps back. He will roll out after play action to the right side. Throws to the end zone. It's off of the hands of Keyshawn McCoy on the far side. Double covered, although that throw was splitting the difference between the Reavers that were on the defensive.
And that time, Daniel Isom, I believe, fell down before the ball arrived there. If he was able to stay on his feet, he probably could have made a play on that football.
2 minutes, 20 seconds to play in this opening half. Again, the crowd very light today because of a snowstorm back in Council Bluffs and Omaha that made travel nearly impossible on Interstate 80 from the metro. And we know that some Snow fans ended up on the campus of Iowa Western somehow. Handoff to Warren. That's a long way to drive to come see your team play and end up in Council Bluffs.
Well, how disheartening would it be that you drove all that way and then realized you had another
4 hours.
4 hours
to go. If the roads are good, and they aren't good.
Yeah.
So hopefully those folks are safely arriving or have safely arrived. That was earlier this morning that we heard that news. You don't want to be in Council Bluffs today sitting outside of the football game. Braxton Kerr rolls into pressure, throws to the far side, and it's going to be caught. And still on his feet is the receiver after getting initially hit by Corey Hernandez. Let's see who that man is that got it. Is that Hess again? No. It is going to be Wright, I believe, that makes the catch. It is Derek Wright that made the catch on the far side. And it'll bring up 4th down for Snow. They'll bring in their kicker, James Baird, on the year, 11 of 13. Longest field goal is 13 yards, and a timeout called for by the Iowa Western Reavers as that kick will come from about 33 yards out. Let's get your Papa John's trivia question. And, of course, we go back to 2010, the Reavers' first ever bowl game. If you'll remember that season, Iowa Western was number 2 before facing Ellsworth in the ICCAC playoffs. Ellsworth knocking them off. That's the last time that the Reavers have lost in conference. 2010, an unbelievable span. But Iowa Western losing that game, and then of course electing to accept Snow's invite to the Top of the Mountains Bowl in Salt Lake City, or I guess, where is that? It's not.
It was Sandy, wasn't it?
Yes, it was Sandy. Of course, at Rio Tinto Stadium, beautiful place, and Snow got up 34-15 at halftime, and the Reavers had to battle back. They were actually within 8 points at one point, and then Snow ran off like a 10-minute drive in the fourth quarter that killed any chance for a comeback. What we want to know on that trivia question, as the 33-yarder is up, and it is into the net, but wide right, no good, and the Reavers will take over, still in the lead, 13-7. What we want to know is what former Reaver wide receiver caught 2 of the 45 completions for touchdowns. He had more catches than that in the game, but what Reaver wide receiver caught 2 touchdowns in that game against Snow College from Rio Tinto Stadium back in 2010 in the Top of the Mountains Bowl? Of course, that'll go out on Twitter. If you want to respond, we'll get you a pizza to the Council Bluffs Papa John's. So Snow fans, if you're listening in, we can send you the coupon via mail, but it's going to be no good unless you come to Council Bluffs. We will gladly show you around.
Yeah, well, maybe wait until it's a little bit warmer.
Yeah, perhaps when the NCAA tournament comes in 2020, or maybe the Utah baseball team comes out and makes the College World Series. Of course, Council Bluffs right across the river from Omaha, Nebraska. TJ Starks on 1st and 10 for the Reavers. Quick out and into the hands, I believe, that is Nick Singleton, and it is, and he comes up shy of the first down at around the 28-yard line. Gain of 8, though. Nope, they're going to say the 29-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and 1. A minute and a half. Reavers with 2 timeouts. No, 1 timeout to burn. Starks again. Here comes pressure from Snow. Down the field to the far side, and that one nearly hauled in on that far side by Javante Richardson. Verbal commit back to Kentucky, where he transferred from. Got his grades in order, and now he is ready to go back and become a Wildcat. But first hoping to have a big game today as a Reaver. Unfortunate there. That would have been a good chunk of yardage with a minute 15 remaining.
Yeah, that would get you right back into where you want to be, and almost looked like he was about ready to tip that ball back to himself, but unable with all the pressure.
Starks sends a man in motion. It's Michael Zachary. They'll fake the run, and now Starks will keep it. Wow, good hit. Coming up and pounding him to the turf was number 35 on the play for Snow. That is Jaquez Wright. All at the 35-yard line. Or check that, the 30-yard line. Good enough for a first down for the Reavers, but man, he took some punishment. Ball snaps, Starks, time to throw. Down the field, and that one thrown up for grabs. Who's going to come down with it? The Reavers do!
Oh, yeah.
Marcel Barbie hauls it in double coverage. Holy smoke! What a play by Marcel Barbie. Connor Smith and Wright were there.
Yeah, that was right in front of me. What a heck of a catch from Marcel Barbie.
Travis Jacobson on the sideline, down to the 25-yard line. Holy cow, 45-yard gain, and with 43 seconds left, it's Starks that will throw again. Now he's going to duck and run to the 27-yard line. He'll lose 2 on the play, and the Reavers will burn their final timeout, I believe, and we'll take it with them. 13-7 your score. Reavers take their last timeout as they lead at 13-7 into the second half. That's how they hope to be going, at least 6, maybe more. We'll be back in a moment on the Reaver Sports Network.
It's decision time. I want flexibility, more doing, hands-on experience, and working sooner. I gotta make a choice. I want to get started now. Find your path at iwcc.edu and get hands-on real-world experience. Start now at Iowa.
From Cedar Falls, Iowa, and the Unidome in a beautiful, beautiful 72-degree day, or is it 78?
I think it feels more like 78 to me.
It feels like 85. I'm surprised that you're got your shirt still on. 35 seconds left. Great catch by Marcel Barbie. Then Starks loses two. Starks will throw again. This time it will be thrown over the head of Knife East West. He was the safety valve man, and he went right down the field, defended nicely by Noah Purcell, but the ball was grossly overthrown, and another Reaver is injured. This time it's going to be one of the offensive linemen. So the clock stops at 31 seconds for an injury timeout. The Reavers lead on a pair of Marcel Barbie touchdowns from TJ Starks. Braxton Kerr, the score on the board for the Badgers of Snow College. Jake Ryan, Russ Nelson, Josh Odson. On the field right now, Travis Jacobson will get set to talk with head coach Scott Strohmeyer for the Reavers at halftime.
I'll tell you what, Jake, I keep thinking back to that trivia question, and I'm having a hard time even pulling. I mean, that's a long time ago, 2010?
Listen, it's a good one.
Can you give me any clues?
His brothers played on the team.
Okay, all right.
By the way, Marcel Barbie's stat line, 3 receptions, 132 yards, and a pair of touchdowns. So the freshman, unbelievable. There's your rankings on the board. Of course, East Mississippi won the national championship the other night in a 10-9 shootout down in Pittsburgh, Kansas. A decision to go for 2 for head coach Jeff Sims as he is on his way out to a new job. I wasn't sure about that one. His defense was handling the Lions pretty well, and I guess he was just looking to go up in the game, but they lose on a missed opportunity. Tried the old swing and gate, and it did not work. Here we go, 13-7 your score, 31 seconds left. TJ Starks takes the snap. The Reaver QB down the sideline, and again, this one is into the end zone and intercepted. Too many times they've just chucked it up there. And Samote Lokotui trying to shake the hand of Nick Singleton. Who had that pick? Was that 29?
Yes.
So that's Alton Jones Jr., his 6th INT of the season. Snow College's defense, we talk about their offense in 53 yards a game and 53 points a game and 500 yards a game, but their defense has returned 7 interceptions for touchdowns and a fumble for a touchdown and a punt return for a touchdown. Alton Jones Jr., one of those pick sixes. So they are very opportunistic, and Snow has got numerous touchdowns of over 60-plus yards. Look out for him with 25 seconds to go. Jalen Warren makes the catch, and he's smashed down by Elias Bell on the far side.
So it's nice to see one of those defensive linemen continue their pursuit. Elias gets downfield and makes the tackle.
Snow's got 3 timeouts going. The final NJCAA football game of the season happening right now between the Reavers and the Badgers. Of course, they round out things. In 2012, it was the national championship game. Last year, it probably should have been, as the Reavers were number 1 in the country, didn't lose, but somehow finished number 3 in the rankings. So if you tell me there's no problem with the way that the rankings are done, I would argue with you, and I'm sure that those in Badger country would argue with you a little bit as well. They felt they had a pretty good shot at a claim to the national title. They took out that runner-up to last year's game, the Arizona Western Matadors, fairly easily this year. And they, again, the pride of the Western States Football League. Kerr will roll out. He's got a wide-open man that will jump and let the ball trickle over his head because it was well overthrown. That was Zay Kafur, the backup tight end. But he had leaked out and was wide open. 13 seconds left on the clock. Phil's Comfort Zone halftime report coming your way for everybody listening on 89.7 The River in Omaha and Council Bluffs. For those that are watching on Reaver Vision and on Snow TV and, of course, on Centricom cable channel number 10, we will have various stats and messages for you. There are no bands here. The Reaver band did not make it. Ball was thrown out to the outside. That'll move the chains with 9 seconds left. Snow does have 2 timeouts left. They get to the 34 on that play. NFL Sunday, we'll get your scores there. And, of course, a check on all those other games going on, including Butler and NEO. That should be a heck of a ball game as well today. We are at halftime as Snow and the Reavers have put on a show so far. Not offensively, but it has been a heck of a football game. 13-7, Iowa Western will lead into the break as Travis Jacobson awaits head coach Scott Strohmeyer. He's talking with OC Donnie Woods right now about maybe some of the plays toward the back half of the second half as the teams head to the locker room. And here's Travis Jacobson along with head coach Scott Strohmeyer. Trav?
Thanks, guys. Coach, a 13-7 game here in the first half. What have you seen from your team thus far?
Well, I mean, really good at times and not so good. You know, we had some injuries there and some guys banged up and kind of jumping around. But, I mean, that's a good football team. And we got 30 more minutes of tough physical ball to go. We got some things. We just got to execute now. We got a little antsy at times.
Marcel Barbie, 3 catches, 2 touchdowns, 130-plus yards. How do you get the ball back into his hands?
Well, we're trying. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing is you got to keep trying to get him the football. He's going up and getting it. And, you know, we'll find some ways in the second half to at least get him some targets.
What do you see from the return game? They're getting a lot of return yards on your special teams. What do you see from that?
We definitely got to correct that. I mean, we're not giving great enough effort on the kickoff team, and you know, we can't give up the field position game so much, and we'll got to correct that in the second half.
Good luck, Coach.
I appreciate it.
Guys?
There's Travis Jacobson, the head coach Scott Strohmeyer. You see that DG on his hat. That is, of course, the Reavers tribute to Doug Goodman, longtime Reaver fan that passed away rather unexpectedly earlier this season, and each and every day the Reavers and Iowa Western in general misses the smile of Mr. Doug Goodman. So thanks again to Coach Strohmeyer. That halftime talk brought to you by Corum's Flowers. Corum's and crew deliver flowers all throughout the metro, Omaha and Council Bluffs. You can order them online, their website, corumsflowers.com. Halftime score, Iowa Western 13, Snow College 7. It's 20 minutes of halftime coming up, brought to you by Phil's Comfort Zone, the HVAC of the RSN. Back in a moment on the Reavers Sports Network. A couple minutes to go before the second half begins. Jake Ryan along with Russ Nelson, Josh Otson in the broadcast booth, brought to you by Allstate Insurance. Let's go to our stats at halftime. Josh Otson, what stands out to you?
Well, we're looking at first down Snow with 13 of them to the Reavers 10. Need to pick it up there if you're Iowa Western. Yards offense, 230 for Snow, 271 for Iowa Western. Your time of possession brought to you by Arrow Towing, 1906 for Snow, 1054 for the Reavers. Third downs, Reavers need to convert more of them. They need to keep these drives lasting longer. They're just 1 of 8 today. TJ Starks with 267 all-purpose yards already. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns. He's had that 1 pick, 7 carries. He's 8 of 16 passing today. We've already highlighted Marcel Barbie's 3 catches, 132 yards and 2 touchdowns. And for the dark side, Willie O'Hara needs 15 career tackles today to become the all-time leader at Iowa Western. He already has 9. So he needs 6 more to become the all-time leading tackler at Iowa Western.
All right, Josh, thank you very much. That's your halftime stats brought to you by Creighton Federal Credit Union. How about your Blessed Electric plugged-in player, Russ, so far?
Well, Jake, Nick Singleton, we saw them single him out early in the ball game. Weren't able to get quite the connection they wanted to. Also saw him take a pretty big hit late out of bounds. That's slowed him up, but he is back out there, so hopefully he can have a big second half to go along with Marcel Barbie as well.
And how about your Pond Pros Lawn and Landscape game plan?
Well, I think the Reavers have done a great job of stopping the run on first down as this game has progressed. Also, that offensive line, so far they've done a great job. They've been protecting, giving TJ Starks enough time. They need to be careful because that defensive line for the Badgers are pretty rowdy. And then they got to stop those big plays. The biggest one we saw basically was that fake punt that they returned and gave them extra life on that down.
All right, that's your Pond Pros Lawn and Landscape game plan. From the Unidome in Cedar Falls, Iowa, Iowa Western and Snow College getting set to go in the second half. Jake Ryan and Russ Nelson, and we are expecting more great football in the second half. A good defensive performance, I think, both sides of the football, both sides of the field right now for Snow and for Iowa Western.
Well, we've seen both defenses really show up today. We thought maybe we'd see a great offensive output, which we did at times. But I think on both sides of the football, the defense has been playing the larger role in this football game.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with the offenses and the defenses coming up in just a few seconds as the Reavers get set to kick it off to Snow College in the second half. Again, the Badgers wearing their road orange unis, navy blue numbers outlined in white, those navy blue helmets with the block Snow S on either side. The Reavers in their dark sales unis, black pants, black jerseys, also Reaver blue numbers outlined in white, and of course the Reaver word mark across the chest. And, of course, those black sales helmets, so pretty. Matte black helmets with the chrome decals on them. Down the middle, of course, with the stripe, and on either side with the IW flag. 30 minutes of football to play left in the NJCAA football season. And we're excited to bring it to you today on the Reaver Sports Network. Jake Ryan, Russ Nelson, Josh Otson, Travis Jacobson, and, of course, the hard-working Iowa Western television crew who are bringing you today's game in HD TV. And a little pooch kick for Penninger coming up to make the fair catch at the 28-yard line for the Snow College Badgers is number 31, Riley Smith, and that's where they will start. Good field position and a little bit of a, well, I don't know, kind of a boring start to the second half. I figured we'd have some sort of run back, but the Reavers, wise decision for Coach Strohmeyer. Leon Morgan has been torching them on the special teams.
Well, that's one way. Take the ball out of Morgan's hands, and that was a good little chess move there, if you will, by Coach Strohmeyer on special teams.
So Braxton Kerr, along with his teammates, back out on the field. Jalen Warren, the tailback. It's a handoff to Warren, and he has got a huge amount of steam through the line. Rodney Owens, the Reavers free safety, brings him down after a huge chunk of yards on first down. In fact, that is going to be a 9-yard gain. 2nd and 1 coming up for Kerr and the Badgers. Why not? Handoff again to Warren, and Warren gets to the line. Dragged down by the arm across the shoulder by the long-haired man. Devin Drew, he and Elias Bell, similar look, and of course they would bookend each other on that line. Bell, the defensive tackle, Drew, the defensive end. Both have that 90 in their number, 98 and 90, but Devin Drew making the tackle that time. They'll go twins this time with the pair of backup running backs, Brandon Ellis and Weston Barlow. Kerr in the gun, takes the snap, hands off to Ellis, and Ellis will pick his way toward the outside, ducks under, and is going to be pulled down by Kalen Jennings. Late penalty marker coming in. Is that going to be a horse collar or face mask, or will that be a hold?
Well, I personally thought that there was a hold along that edge.
And it is a hold. So I saw Jennings with the jersey in his hand. I didn't know maybe if something had happened there. And that works in the Reavers' favor. Snow back 10 yards, and that takes away a pretty good chunk of yards on the run by Brandon Ellis.
Well, Jennings was the man being held, so he was trying to fight through that, and I didn't catch the number of the Badger who was holding him, but he was unable to turn around and make the tackle.
Paul Peterson in his second season with Snow. Head coach Scott Strohmeyer in his 10th with the Reavers. Snap to Kerr. Penalty marker comes in early, and it is a quick hitter to Weston Barlow, and Barlow is tackled on the outside by the Reavers' number 12, Rodney Owens.
I almost thought there was another hold along that edge, but I don't know.
Well, here you go. Here's the call. Uh-oh. So it is a sideline warning against the Reavers. A penalty that really doesn't come into play until the second one. But they throw the flag anyway. Snow College and Iowa Western Community College. Ephraim, Utah, Council Bluffs, Iowa. Turn, play action. No, it is a handoff this time, and surging forward, I believe, is Weston Barlow. Third down and long. After a 2nd and 14, they will gain, what do you get, 3 on that play?
Yeah, this is going to be the point where you're going to have to keep an eye on Chase Hess, the tight end. They like him kind of just running up that seam and getting open against the linebacker.
He's been fairly productive today. There you see Morris Joseph set to go. Kerr, here comes pressure from the outside. Braxton stepping up and stepping into trouble. He'll get across the 45 and maybe to the 46 before being brought down. It's 4th down and long coming up for Snow College, and the Reavers will send their punt return team on, and here comes the punting unit for Snow College with Bunker Weimer ready to kick it away. He's already had 1 fake in the game, although with 9 yards to go, maybe they don't risk it. Around midfield, though, that's usually the place where you see it the most.
Yeah, and we also talked about how the Badgers were just timing this out perfectly on Michael Zachary. He needs to continue to be very careful and secure that football.
Weimer, the snap is perfect. The orange laces of the Snow football. Back goes Zachary, and he steps out of trouble at least briefly, and then is brought down. He caught the ball about the 10-yard line and managed to avoid 3 tackles by Snow, but finally Stephen Wright, the football player, not the comedian, gets in there. That guy might be the guy with the most boring voice ever.
You do a good Stephen Wright impersonation.
Oh, now I'm boring. I appreciate what
No, I just thought I'd cue you in, but you didn't take the bait.
I can't do it on the spot.
Okay.
There's a block in the back against the Reavers, so now we're going back farther. There's the graphic edge bowl, the Unidome, and that northwest corner. As you see it, Reavers defending the north end zone right now. And we're ready to go back to the 6-yard line. Reavers lead it by 6, 13-7, 12:22 remaining in the final JUCO football game of the season here in Cedar Falls, Iowa. TJ Starks, dinged up in the first half, will hand it off to Milton Sargba, trying to string it to the edge. Penalty marker coming in right at the line of scrimmage, and that's where Milton Sargba got back to.
And I almost thought they reached out and got a piece of his face mask.
Well, he is so fast, but the problem with Milton is that he's unable to really find those lanes, and we've seen bursts of greatness. Here's another penalty marker that comes in. And this will be interesting to see what the end result is, as that last penalty flag came in around the body of a Snow College defender. See the Iowa Western cheer team, they made the trip in the weather. Here you go.
Offense number 77. Personal foul, face mask, defense. Those penalties offset. Replay.
So we'll do it again.
So I wasn't crazy. I saw a Badger reach out and get a little piece of that face mask.
Not in this particular instance.
Okay, thank you.
We'll maintain your sanity at least briefly. Just before 5 o'clock Central Time as Reavers and Badgers close things out. TJ Starks again, first down and 10 from the 6-yard line. Snow coming. Handoff, no. Quick throw to Singleton near side. He's tripped up immediately. Another nice reach out and grab you by Leon Morgan as he just grabbed the top of the shoe. That was enough to bring Nick Singleton down. A couple yards on the gain, actually just one.
Morgan again just showing how quick he is. He's got around Marcel Barbie and just able to dive at the feet of Singleton to make that tackle.
Second down and 9 for the Reavers, 11:36 to play. They are up 13-7 on a pair of passes to Marcel Barbie. Across the middle, Sargba is blown up. Incomplete pass as he was absolutely lit up to start after the ball had been dumped into his hands. Snow was right there on the backside. Great play to bat it away.
And some good sportsmanship, as you see Sione Ossie help up. Alex Vendetti at the end of that play.
Linemen got to stick together regardless of what side of the ball they're on.
The big hogs always have a respect for each other, I think.
Reavers 13 and Snow 7. Dangerous territory for Iowa Western, 3rd down and 9. We talked about the Badgers being opportunistic. It'll be Starks, steps out of trouble, and now he's in trouble. Fumble on the turf, and that ball is picked up by Lavaca. Lavaca still on his feet at the 5, and he is still churning forward, and he's going to be down at the 1. Wow. Remind me never to say that again. Sherwin Lavaca picks up the fumble by TJ Starks. It is fumble number 5 lost by Starks on the year, and Lavaca was right there, and he really wanted that touchdown. Man, oh man, very close. But it will be Snow knocking on the door at the 1-yard line. 1st and goal for the Badgers.
Oh, just another just unfortunate timed turnover for the Reavers.
3rd turnover of the day for Iowa Western. Plus 15 on the year coming into this game. Hand off to Warren, and he tries to dive for the pile. That might have cost him a yard when it's all said and done. Willie O'Hara there, and Perryon Winfrey. Army crawling out of the bottom of the pile. Where will they put this football? And it will be a yard loss on the play. Back to the 2. 2nd and goal. Hand off to Warren again. Charred the line, and again the Reavers meet him. Willie O'Hara, Kalen Jennings, Rodney Owens, and also Perryon Winfrey flexing the muscles. It's 3rd and goal. That ain't got to work against that Reaver front 4, especially when you've got the safeties and the linebackers doing their job.
Well, you're going to have to force the Badgers into doing something different, because if they know you're running the football, they're ready for you.
Man in motion is Hess. Hand off to Warren. He'll follow the tight end, and he's in for the touchdown. They get the blocking to the outside. Actually, that's the backup tight end, Tuiavasu. And into the end zone goes Jalen Warren from 2 yards out. His 15th score of the season. And the game is tied at 13 here in Cedar Falls.
Well, they finally decided to stretch the play out, go a little bit more outside of the tackle box, and that's where they were able to find that lane to get the touchdown.
On for the extra point that'll give him the lead is James Baird. Baird toward the sweet level, and that one is good. And Snow back up a point. 14-13. The Badgers lead the Reavers from the Graphic Edge Bowl in Cedar Falls, Iowa. This is exclusive coverage on the Reavers Sports Network.
Okay, it's decision time. I want to experience a 4-year college in 2 years. I want to live on campus but get to my career faster. I want to get started now. Find your path at iwcc.edu and get hands-on, real-world experience. Start now at Iowa West.
.20 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Iowa Western trails 14-13. Paul Peterson, head coach of the Snow College Badgers, his 2nd season. He was named the head coach in January of 2017. Of course, a Snow alum, and went on to Boston College before a couple stops, BYU and I believe North Carolina State, where he was coaching there.
Yeah, kind of similar to Coach Strohmeyer, that he was a quarterback and now finds himself coaching in junior college, and another up-and-coming coach, definitely at the junior college level.
So we are about 5 minutes into this 3rd quarter. Snow getting another touchdown run. They've got a pair of touchdown runs. The Reavers have a pair of touchdown passes. 14-13 your score, as the turnover fumble recovery by Lavaca turns into a touchdown run by Warren 3 plays later. Sidewinding kick, it'll bounce, and it's picked up. No, it's going to be Michael Zachary that lets it roll out of bounds, and the Reavers will take over at their own 35-yard line. So Paul Peterson and head coach Scott Strohmeyer, a couple of Class X on the field here in Cedar Falls. Reavers are 5-1 overall in this building. They have beat Butler twice, Georgia Military, Northwest Mississippi, who they took out last year in a statement game, I would say, for the Reavers. That's the team that beat East Mississippi, who was number 1, pretty soundly, and then put up 50-plus points again against them and lost in double overtime. And the Reavers still found their way on the outside looking in. And then Iowa Western just absolutely slobbered them. What's that, slobber-knockered?
Yeah.
36-19 final. They owned that game. And then, of course, the first bowl win ever for the Reavers against Rochester, a 62-0 win in 2011. Starks on first down and 10 for the Reavers from the 35. Rolls out to the right. Man on the sideline is Marcel Barbie, and that ball is caught and complete just shy of midfield for number 17.
And we talked about it earlier. When Marcel Barbie has had his most success has been when Clay Beathard has been in the ball game, but TJ and Marcel have definitely been hooking up pretty regularly today, and that's a good thing because they need every bit of it.
10 minutes to play in the third. Man in motion. Check that. Singleton this time. He will head toward the line right as the play got going. Michael Zachary unable to haul that pass in as he was going to follow Singleton and Javante Richardson. And now Nick Singleton getting the best of one of the Snow College defenders. I'm not sure if a penalty marker was thrown, but
it was close.
Number 35, Jaquez Wright, was not real fond of whatever Nick Singleton was in his face about. Second down and 10 for the Reavers. Yes, Russ?
I think he took exception to the fact that Nick Singleton kept kind of blocking him through the whistle, and he wanted to keep engaging in the conversation after the play was done.
Starks on 2nd and 10. Here comes pressure. Starks rolls out right side, far right sideline. He'll hold it out. Let's see where they'll spot the ball.
Oh.
Third down, or will it be? Yep, third down, and looks like 3 to go on the initial spot at the 45-yard line of Snow College. So they get across midfield.
I thought perhaps he got a little further along that line than that, but he must have stepped out there with his right foot.
Ball spotted on that far hash as the Reavers drive right to left here in this third quarter, trailing by a point. Iowa Western has scored twice. Snow College has answered twice. And the missed extra point looming large right now. Reavers trailing by a point. Starks setting up. Quick throw to the outside. Caught by Singleton. And then driven all the way out of bounds and into the sideline. And that might be payback for Snow, although that doesn't look like Jaquez Wright. Is that 22 that made the play? Oh, 23. That's Samote Lokotui that wraps him up. That's enough for a Barley's Bar and Grill first down and 10 for the Reavers, though, from the Snow 40-yard line. Iowa Western, 3 turnovers in the game. Snow 1. That's been the difference so far. Snow has taken advantage. Javante Richardson cannot haul it in. He was defended nicely, and then by the time it's all said and done, he had 3 different Badger defenders around him.
Got penalty play at the end again. I think they're indicating holding on the Reavers.
So the penalty marker down. Kai Baker again guilty of the hold. And the Snow fans on the sideline. And now a Snow sideline warning. So each team now with a sideline warning. Reavers back to the 50-yard line, right at midfield with 9:18 to play. Iowa Western, both touchdowns coming from TJ Starks to Marcel Barbie. And before this game, Marcel had 5 touchdowns, all from Clay Beathard. Clay unavailable today. We've seen Colton Wilwarding in relief of TJ Starks. Time to throw. He'll roll out to the right side. Throws down the field. Barbie's there again, and it looks like he's got it. Yeah. He does inside the 15-yard line. Down to the 10 for the Reavers. First and goal, Iowa Western. And a penalty marker coming about the 50-yard line.
I think they might be getting Baker again.
Great catch again, though, by Marcel Barbie. What a tremendous wide receiver. And the young man out of Pueblo, Colorado, calling for a quick relief. Here we go, and that'll erase it. So here we go again. Unfortunate, because a tremendous effort for Marcel Barbie.
Well, this might be the point where you ask TJ to go ahead and do a quarterback draw and catch him off guard and pick up a lot of these yards back, hopefully.
Well, they only need 30. First down and 30 for the Reavers. Trailing by a point, 14-13 to Snow, with still a bunch of this ball game left. 9:09 to play in the third quarter.
You just got to go out there and get those chunks right now. You don't have to get it
those
all
chunk
at once.
plays?
Yeah, you don't have to get it all 30 of them in one play.
The magic. Hand off to Nifis West. There's a chunk of 2 for the Reavers.
The offensive line, that was in the game plan that they need to protect the quarterback, and right now we see TJ continually having to roll out to avoid the pass rush of the Badgers along that front 4. They're only sending 4, and they're able to get enough pressure on him that it's really disrupting what he needs to do back there. So the offensive line needs to start doing a better job of protecting the quarterback.
From the 42-yard line of Iowa Western. Second down, 28 to go for the Reavers. Starks takes the snap. Here comes the edge pressure, and Starks trying to step out of trouble, and he does. Gets all the way to the 48 before being brought down, and his helmet gets knocked off on the play. So now TJ's going to have to come out as he was popped by Isaac Fotu. Colton Wilwarding, Johnny on the spot, ready to go.
You've definitely seen this. That's kind of what Coach Stroh preaches is next man up. Everybody needs to be ready to go.
And for the Reavers, it will be third down and 22 now. Wilwarding. Make sure the helmet is snapped up, and now he will be wrapped up. There's the designed quarterback draw, and Isaac Fotu knew it was coming. He was right there, ready to go. Fourth down for the Reavers, and here comes the punting unit.
Well, Fotu just too quick on the defensive end and comes right around and just meets Wilwarding instantly in the backfield. You hope to use kind of their defensive line pressure against them with that quarterback draw. Just too quick to catch up.
Pinniger ready. Leon Morgan also ready. He adjusts back at the 15-yard line of Snow. Nice kick again. That's plenty of hang time, and it's dropped. It's dropped, and the Reavers are trying to get on top of it. Loose scrum on the field, and it'll be a scramble there, signaling it's Reaver football. Let's see who comes out of the stack with it.
They're still fighting, but yeah, he's already signaled Reaver football.
And it is. It is the Reavers that come up with it. Coming out of the pile is Vance Gibson with the recovery. Leon Morgan had it carom off of him. And the Reavers have got a huge turnover. They'll come back out on the field offensively.
Well, Randy is correct. Gibson, just a great kid in there on special teams, comes up big with a big play. And we needed this because the Reavers have had some turnovers. We're trying to even that up, let the offense get back onto the field, see what they can do. And this also gives TJ Starks a chance to get back out there as well.
Vance Gibson had the initial pressure, and he rolled over right back on top of the football after losing it the first time. Starks, trouble coming. He'll race out to the left side, throws down the field, and is caught, and then a violent collision after Nifis West hauls it in. John Ofengalwe popped him good, but hanging on was Nifis West, and it's a first down and 10 for the Reavers inside the Phil's comfort zone red zone.
Well, great job of just holding on to that football. That was quite the collision at the end of the play.
And now a roughing the passer penalty. So half the distance to the goal after the catch by Nifis West. Starks takes it on the chin, and the Reavers down to the 8-yard line. First down and goal for Iowa Western. What a change of events. Snow had him at fourth and forever. The punt goes off of Leon Morgan, and now Iowa Western knocking on the door. Starks ready. They'll check to the sideline. Alex Vendetti, the center. turns around as well. Now Starks makes sure the line has the call. TJ Snow chomping at the bit. Hand off to West, and he pushes forward to the 5-yard line. 6:50 to play. 2 turnovers for Snow, 3 for the Reavers. And the turnovers we've seen have resulted in points.
Let's see if the Reavers elect to keep it on the ground, maybe doing a read option.
It'll be Starks. Hands off to Zachary. Michael picking his way through. He's at the goal line and just shy. They'll rule him down all the way back at the 2-yard line now. I thought maybe he was right at the 1 when he was ransacked by a trio of Badgers. It'll be 3rd down and goal from the 2-yard line for the Reavers.
But even to make something out of that, did a great job. It just kept moving his feet and just trying to find that little inch of room.
Well, again, that wrestling background that he's got just gives him incredible balance. Here it is, Starks, and they'll blow it dead. A false start against the Reavers. Forward momentum, and then the laundry comes flying in. That time it's Marcel Barbie moving in his wide receiver spot.
And that's something the Reavers have had trouble with all season long. Penalties, just finding them in the worst times.
Trailing by a point, 14-13. TJ Starks, 3rd down, goal to go now from the 7 for Iowa Western. 9-1 on the year, only lost to number 2 Garden City, who stumbled 10-9 in the national championship game. Starks rolling right, looking to the end zone. He'll throw to the end zone and out of the end zone. Incomplete, 4th down and 7. And Pinniger, will he get the chance? He will. Here comes the punting and field goal unit. Colton Wilwarding is on to hold. So the Reavers drive it down. They bite themselves by giving a false start penalty. They had a 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line, and now the field goal, just a 24-yard chip shot for Hunter Pinniger. He is 1 for 3 on kicks today, 1 for 2 on PATs, 0 for 1 on field goals. Hold is good, snap is good, and the kick is good. The Reavers take the lead on a field goal by Hunter Pinniger. It's 16-14, 5:39 to play here in Cedar Falls. 3rd quarter action continues next on the Reavers Sports Network.
Back at the Unidome with the 2018 Graphic Edge Bowl, your Leach Camper drive summary looks and sounds like this. 5 plays, 24 yards. It was Hunter Pinniger from 24 yards out, giving Iowa Western the lead 16-14 here in the 3rd quarter.
Reavers ready to kick it off. Leach Camper drive summary brought to you by our friends at Leach Camper on Veterans Memorial Highway in Council Bluffs. Sales, leasing, rentals of RVs, fifth wheels, and more. Leach Camper, where the coffee is always on. They are online as well at leachcamper.com. 16-14, Reavers in front of the Badgers. Only losses of the season for Snow to the Fighting Artichokes and the Gila Monsters. Fair catch called for at the 26-yard line for number 31, Riley Smith. He's done a good job of fair catching so far. Willie O'Hara, what a season he has had, setting the single season tackle record for Iowa Western. Comes into this ball game with 127, 4 sacks, 3 interceptions, a forced fumble, and number 51 has done a nice job this season. He's 3 away from tying the record set in a pair of seasons by Sam Marish for Iowa Western. And Sam Marish is a heck of a middle linebacker as well. And he is the one that is in the commercial that you hear when you hear the Reaver Sports Update on 89.7 The River saying, "Reaver Jacks, are you ready?" Just getting them fired up, and he was a heck of a leader on that football team.
Played with a lot of emotion and definitely was wired a little differently, and that's what the middle linebackers often are.
So the orange threaded football exchanged, and they are ready to go. A handoff and nowhere to go. How about that quick hit for the Reavers? It was Devin Drew that wrapped him up almost immediately, along with the assistance of Morris Joseph.
And again, you see him kind of hit him around that waist and just slide down and just try to trip him up on the legs.
Well, you got to hang on to him. He's got those legs churning. Pretty talented tailback. Here is Kerr to throw on second down. Out into the flat, complete to Wright. And Wright is going to be brought down by Simeon Gatling on the far sideline. Corey Hernandez there as well for Iowa Western. 5:07 to play. That ball should move the chains, and it will. A first down for Snow.
Reavers have seen a lot of great backs in their day. Alvin Kamara, one of the ones that come to mind, but Chris Carson, you got a lot of backs, and this Warren is one of the best we've seen.
And a great job there for the Reavers reading that play. Warren makes the catch off the turf. Gatling hit him initially, and then Devin Drew and I believe Daniel Isom were there for Iowa Western.
You could hear the pop all the way up here. That was quite the hit.
Second down and 11, a loss of 1 on the play. Kerr again will look to pass. This one is hauled in, or no, it's not hauled in. I was going to say Warren reached out, looked like he curled his hand underneath it, but it's incomplete. Third down and 11 from the Snow 36-yard line.
And I know they use Warren a lot, all this season, but you got to wonder what type of motor he has as we start going through this ball game. They've really used him a lot.
Braxton Kerr in the gun. Warren to his right. Jalen Warren, the sophomore out of Salt Lake City, will not get a chance to block for his quarterback. False start is coming your way, courtesy of the Snow offensive line, or perhaps somebody on the outside moved. And that's the tight end, Chase Hess, that snuck out a little bit too quickly. Iowa Western 16, Snow College 14. Third quarter action from the Graphic Edge Bowl, the Champions game. Of course, the annual game that the champion of the ICCAC plays in is the 3 o'clock game. We did have an earlier game between Iowa Central and Monroe. That ball is thrown down the field, intended for Warren, but Kerr was under heavy pressure for the Reavers.
Yeah, James was basically had a forearm across his chest as he was trying to throw that football.
But he does get it away, and that'll bring up fourth down and 16 for Snow College. And out comes Bunker Weimer. I asked Coach Peterson, is that his real name? It absolutely is. If you got a name like that, you've got to play sports in some form or the other.
That's for sure. I mean, he's right up there with T-Boy White on the all-conference names list.
Yeah. Michael Zachary back at the Reaver 35-yard line. Weimer will kick it. Kind of a sidewinding kick. Bounces, and now it scoots down the field out of bounds. Nice kick for Weimer as he got a nice long bounce in his favor. And the Reavers will take over inside their own 30. We doing a backtrack today?
You ready for one?
Sure, we can do one.
All right, December 2nd, correct?
December 2nd, yes.
Well, in 1967, the first human heart transplant was done in South Africa. Seems like a long time ago, but not too long ago. Back in 1950, it was the 15th Iron Bowl. In that one, we saw Bama beat Auburn 34-0. 1985 was the first ever matchup of Dan Marino and John Elway. Dan Marino got the edge in that one. Dolphins winning 30-26. And I tell you what, I'm not going to say the year, but on December 2nd, your mom, Betty, was born. I'm trying to be a gentleman and not give away her age.
Happy birthday, Mom. Hand off to Milton Sargba, picking his way to the outside. Nice block on the outside by Willie Tyler, and that'll free him up for a couple yards. And what's our song that we'd be dancing to that year?
I hope you have your dancing shoes on. 1985, it's Mr. Mister with Broken Wings.
Oh. Got to learn to fly again. Happy birthday, Mom. That's our One Eye Jacks backtrack, brought to you by One Eye Jacks online at oneejdj.com. Snap to Starks on 2nd down and 7, steps in, and now we'll chuck it down the field. Who's there? And overthrown just over the outstretched arms of a man that has done pretty much everything today. And Marcel Barbie, maybe a cramp at the end of that play. Man, he had full extension, and the way he's come up with plays, I wouldn't have been surprised if he had come up with that one. A injured Snow College Badger also with some cramps. It's warm in here. I told you it's warm, and now the player's starting to feel the effects. We welcome in Josh Otson, our statistician.
I have a beef with the backtrack.
Oh my goodness, what?
6 years ago today, in this very building,
Oh yeah.
Iowa Western won a national championship.
That's true. It did
I
happen
feel
that
that
day.
should be included.
Okay, well, it was hastily put together.
Well, sorry, Josh. Maybe I was saving that for something else, but you're right.
Yeah.
I messed up, and thank you. That's why you're there.
27-7, your final score as Iowa Western beat Butler that day in a clash of the Titans, and what a team that was for Iowa Western. Of course, they were just inducted into the NJCAA Football Hall of Fame 6 years after they won a national title, a team that averaged nearly 63 points a game, and the starters rarely ever played more than a series in the third quarter. We were doing some digging over 3 touchdown receiving games, as Marcel Barbie had one earlier this season, and I thought, how many did Dion Long have? I said, it's got to be 5. And we got to 5, and then it was 6. He had 7 games with 3 touchdowns, 25 total in the season in a game, or in a season that he caught 100-plus passes. On 3rd and 7, Stark's in trouble, and again, it is Sione Asi that comes up with the pressure. Starks whips it out to the outside, and the Reavers are going to punt it away. What an unbelievable season for the Reavers. Dion Long running or catching the ball, not to mention Andrew Stone and Martez Barr and Geronimo Allison, who's now a member of the Green Bay Packers, was on that team. Then you've got not only Aaron Wimberly, who went on to start at Iowa State, but Don Jackson, who also got a chance to play in the NFL for the Packers shortly. Just won a championship with the Calgary Stampeders with the Grey Cup up at the CFL. And then, oh, by the way, you throw in Jake Waters, who is an unbelievable quarterback, now a coach at UTEP. Ball fielded by Morgan. Good job by the Reavers wrapping him up. And the Snow College Badgers will start around the 30-yard line. But that's just the offense on that team.
Yeah, just the offense.
And not to mention the defense was unbelievable as well. And congratulations to every member of that football team, including the members of the coaching staff who are still with the Reavers. Jeff Monty, Donnie Woods, Mike Blackburn, and head coach Scott Strohmeyer, all on that squad. And wow, what a season that was.
Well, we got spoiled pretty early
in
Reaver football with that one.
Hand off to Warren. Michael Scott will wrap him up. If you don't know a Michael Scott, you are a Michael Scott. Jalen Warren now knows a Michael Scott.
And that's lucky because he was really hoping not to be a Michael Scott.
Ball to the 36-yard line. Hand off to Warren again. And what happened? Did he flip it back inside?
Nope. He
never had it.
Kerr had the ball.
Kerr had it.
He fooled you.
What a magician. Under 3 minutes to play. We're cruising toward the fourth quarter. Iowa Western by 2.
Willie has just tied the record for career tackles.
Thank you, Josh. That number is what, by the way?
Heck of a question. 162.
Again, Kerr will pull it back from Jalen Warren. Warren was met immediately, and guess what? Who's in on that tackle? Michael Scott and Willie O'Hara. There's the record breaker on that play. Penalty marker is down, and here's the official. Oh. Willie O'Hara tagged for the face mask on a record-setting tackle. We won't mention that part in the future.
Yeah, we won't put an asterisk with that. See how much more he's going to add to it.
Talked about Braxton Kerr earlier, and now he'll hand off to Jalen Warren. Warren being held onto for dear life by Simeon Gatling. Another piece of sportsmanship there as one of the linemen for Snow reaching down to help up Simeon. That was Tanner Parker, the right tackle. Football, a very violent game, but when it's all said and done, as they throw to the outside, caught and tripped up. Nice job on that far side. Was that Andre Gilbert? Now the ball is loose.
I don't know how he kept off the turf with his knee.
So the catch, I believe, was Jalen Powell, number 5. And the officials discussing what to do with it. It will be Snow football at the 35-yard line of Iowa Western. It was 2nd and 7. Now it is 3rd and 3 to go. From the 35. Hand off to one of the backup tailbacks. That is Barlow. And Barlow is wrapped up a yard shy. 4th down and a yard to go. And you know in this part of the field they're probably going for it. Ball spotted at the 33. They need the 32 for a first.
Question is, do they bring Warren back out for this, or they leave Barlow in?
I think you leave Barlow in. They exchange Powell back in for Tuivasa. Hard count. Reavers nearly jumped. Direct snap, and that's going to get it for him. So there you go. They direct snap it as Kerr looked to the sideline. They direct snap it to Barlow, and Barlow moves the chains.
Yeah, he didn't get it by much, but he did get enough to move the chains. Little trick play.
That's the second time we've seen that. The other time was on the Kerr touchdown when he approached the line of scrimmage, seemingly to change the play, and then just took the snap and put it over the end zone, into the end zone. Kerr ready. Snap. Fakes the handoff. Play action gives him time to throw to the far side, and that one over the shoulder, nearly hauled in for Derek Wright. Incomplete. Defense by Andre Gilbert for the Reavers.
Again, Gilbert looks like maybe he's going to get beat, but he turns around, times it just perfectly, gets a hand in there yet again to break up the pass.
Kerr with his hands on his hips. It's nearly the 4th quarter. These guys have given it their all on both sides of the football.
Well, if you remember last year, it was that 4th quarter when the depth and the strength and conditioning of the Reavers really weighed on Northwest.
Barlow to the left. He will take the handoff. Barlow up the middle, flattened right away by Elijah James and Morris Joseph for the Reavers. Gain of 2, and now 3rd and 8. So they took their shot to the end zone, or at least toward the end zone. And now on 3rd and 8, down a pair of points, they will try to get a little bit closer. Try to convert, but if you're going to boot a field goal from this range, you want to get the best you can get. And right now with 8 to go, they'd take 7 if they're going to attempt a field goal. They'd also take 8 for a first down. That goes without saying. A handoff to Warren, and Warren is buried around the 26-yard line. Ball near the left hash on the far side as we look at it toward the Snow sideline.
Kalen Jennings coming in at the end of that play to clean it up and make sure Warren goes down.
43-yarder for James Baird, longest on the season, 49. He will step off and be ready. Derek Wright is the holder, and now a timeout called for. Coach Peterson needing it for Snow. Didn't like the way it was being set up, and there's no time left on the 3rd quarter, so there's no timeout called. That's just the end of the 3rd. Your score, Iowa Western 16, Snow College 14. Reavers lead it by 2 into the 4th. This is the 2018 Champions Game of the Graphic Edge Bowl. Back for more right after this on the Reavers Sports Network.
It's decision time. I want flexibility, more doing, hands-on experience, and working sooner. I gotta make a choice. I want to get started now. Find your path at iwcc.edu and get hands-on real-world experience. Start now at Iowa West.
From the Unidome in Cedar Falls, Iowa, the home of the University of Northern Iowa Panthers, Iowa Western, the Reavers lead the Badgers of Snow College out of Ephraim, Utah, 16-14. We welcome all those listening on the flagship station of the Reavers Sports Network, 89.7 The River, 100,000 watt FM that covers Council Bluffs and Omaha and the outlying areas. And of course, we welcome all those listening in on Channel 10 for Centricom Cable and Snow TV, the San Pete and Sevier counties, and of course those watching on Iowa Western Television. Baird, 43-yarder, it is good. Nice kick as it's right through the uprights. Very high arcing kick, and guess what? It's a 1-point lead again for Snow. Everything the Reavers have done, Snow has done, and they've added an extra point to boot. 14:54 to go, 4th quarter. We'll keep it right here as we've got some ground to cover. Talked about those rankings. Snow number 9, Ineo and Butler playing today. Ineo number 10, And I know we can get a score update from our Buena Vista University studios and that locker room scoreboard from Cody Weeson. He'll let us know when he has that. What a kick by James Baird to take the lead. Rush, you've got an update on that game?
Well, it looks like Butler was down, but it looks like they came back with 8 points in the fourth quarter to win it 34-30 over NEO. So
congratulations to the Grizzlies, showing that Jayhawk ICCAC conference pride. NEO, of course, plays down in the Texas League. Hutchinson, a big winner. Iowa Central, a big winner. Garden City, of course, coming up just a point shy in the national championship game from Pittsburgh, Kansas on Thursday night. Maybe next year we can play the bowl games and then have the national championship game.
Well, let's try not to be problem solvers.
But it's awesome to have that one on CBS Sports Network, and we thank E-Team Sports for their sponsorship that allowed that game to be broadcast nationwide. 14:54, we're broadcasting nationwide as Baird will kick this one a little bit shallow. Fair catch called for at the Reaver 25-yard line, so they'll take it right where they would have had it on a touchback. And is that Flomo that made that fair catch?
Yeah. Or no.
It was.
Yes.
K-Flor Flomo, and the Reavers will start down a point with just the quarter to play. 14:53 remaining here in the fourth. Jake Ryan along with Russ Nelson as we finish up our 10th season of Reaver football as broadcasting partners. Josh Otson, you've been here and there and everywhere. Used to be our producer, and now camaraderie. Every bit of camaraderie on the road. Travis Jacobson, our sideline announcer, and of course the crew for Iowa Western Television. Starks running out of trouble, and now here comes the sack. He'll throw it away. That's an incomplete pass. Snow wanted the scoop and score on the fumble, but that is TJ sidearming it as he was blown up.
Yeah, his arm
he had no idea that he was being pursued that closely, and look at that. I tell you what, Gotel, come on, I just want the touchdown.
He wanted it.
Matthew Gotel out of Tacoma, Washington, 6'3", 290-pound sophomore, and that's a heck of a hit. And Reavers, frankly, are pretty lucky that Starks got rid of it when he did. Second down and 10 from the 25. TJ takes the snap, right-handed quarterback, pressure again, steps up in the pocket. Now he wings this one a little bit short. Now it's into the hands as Javante Richardson had to slow down a bit, and the man guarding him didn't see it. It was Alton Jones Jr. that had his eyes deadlocked on Javante. Javante slowed down a bit. The ball comes to him, and Alton Jones didn't have any idea that it was there until it was in his hands, and that'll get the Reavers across midfield down to the 43-yard line.
Absolutely, flipping the script on field position.
Michael Zachary in motion. Starks nearly loses the handle on it. Now TJ racing out to the far side toward the Snow sideline, turns it upfield, and he's near a first down for Iowa Western. 14-18 on the game clock. 17-16, Snow in front. They've led 3 different times in this game, 7-6, 14-13, and the field goal by James Baird puts him up again by that single point.
And again, it's another run by TJ where I thought he had enough to pick up the first down, but they put him a little short.
2nd and 1, the Reavers can't shoot themselves in the foot. They've got to play sound football. They've done it before with false starts and holds in this ball game. TJ takes the snap. Turning is Knife East West. He'll catch it, and that's the little safety valve that you want, and West has it down near the 20. Reavers knocking on the door of the red zone. You could see that one developing right away. West was wide open, and TJ smartly dumps it off into the awaiting arms of his running back.
Well, you got 4 receivers that are all dangerous and can hurt you. So what do? You let the running back just slip the coverage and be your safety valve.
Nicely done for Knife East. Now Knife East will take it, nowhere to go. It was first down and 10 at the 20. He'll lose a yard on the play.
And again, we see the defensive line of Snow just blowing up the play before it gets started.
2nd down and 11 for the Reavers. They are in Hunter Pinniger field goal territory, although nothing's a given. 13-15 as the clock counts down here in the fourth. Cedar Falls, Iowa in the Graphic Edge Bowl. Unidome, great place for a winter bowl game. Knife East West, look out. Incomplete pass. Great timing again by Snow's defense, this time it was number 35 sizing him up. That is Jaquez Wright again with a well-timed hit as West had his face back toward the line of scrimmage and the quarterback. And he waited right till the ball got there and then blew it out of his hands.
Well, if there's one thing I remember from 2010 and this Badger team was they were nasty, big, quick, and would hit you hard. And that looks to be the same script we see this year.
One of the powerhouses in junior college football, Iowa Western has joined those ranks, but it's always Snow in the conversation. Here's a throw to the end zone. Ball is going to be in and out of the hands of Javante Richardson, and then through a door, Bo Jackson style, is a defender for Snow. I thought he knocked that sucker off the hinges over on that far side.
Yeah. And look at security coming out like, hey, what's going on?
What?
Who's slamming the door?
Get out of here, kids. Get off my lawn.
Richardson almost had a basket catch. Really came close to.
And now Hunter Pennegaron has made head coach Scott Strohmeyer a basket case in regards to kicking this season. 38-yard attempt for Hunter Pennegar. Low snap. Wilwarding gets it down. Line drive kick. It's going to be wide right. No good. Like I said, nothing's a given, and Snow comes up with a big stop. They have a 1-point lead and a chance to add to it. We'll take a quick break. Be back right after this as Snow onto the field on offense when we come back on the RSN. Change of possession, and it is a quick handoff, actually a flip to Jalen Powell from Braxton Kerr. Nowhere to go. In fact, he gets back to the line of scrimmage before being upended on the far sideline by Daniel Isom for Iowa Western. Kerr set in the gun, 12:43, Snow by a point. Reavers bringing pressure. Reavers still bringing pressure. Kerr out of trouble, wide open down the field, and it's dropped. Hess was there, and he couldn't hang on.
Wow, the defense got so much pressure on Kerr. I thought they were going to bring him down. Kerr was doing his best T.J. Starks impression, getting out of the pressure, and then Hess just drops the football.
Third down, 10 to go from the 21-yard line. That's where they took over after the missed field goal by the Reavers. Now an empty backfield for Braxton Kerr, the sophomore from West Jordan, Utah. Steps back, looking for a man coming inside. Nice job by Gerard Alton. Intended for Keyshawn McCoy. I thought McCoy was going to come up with it. It would have been diving anyway, as Gerard Alton tripped him on the would-be catch with a hand to the leg, and now the Reavers will take over. They get a Tuffy Tire and Auto defensive stand. That's huge for Iowa Western.
Yeah, they just come right in and shut the door. And let's hope that the special teams can play their part.
Protection unit in, and they'll call this play dead before they can get going. It's a timeout for somebody. Who?
That's a 30-second timeout.
So Snow will call a timeout. We'll keep it right here. Let's get you your Papa John's trivia question answer. Back in 2010, the Reavers rolled into Sandy, Utah, just outside of Salt Lake City, and the home of Real Salt Lake, soccer team down there in the MLS. Great venue for a football game, and Snow was the home team in the Top of the Mountains Bowl. Reavers got down big, 34-15 at halftime, rallied back, were within 8 points until Snow put that very strong running game to work, ran off a huge chunk of time in the fourth quarter, punctuated by a touchdown, and your final score in that one, 48-36. Question is, what Reaver wide receiver scored 2 touchdowns in that game, including the opening touchdown that put Iowa Western in front 7-0? And of course the answer is former Reaver and Ohio Bobcat Matt Waters out of St. Albert High School in Council Bluffs. Line drive punt, Michael Zachary trails back on it, still bouncing. Now he picks it up at the 32, misses one man, and he'll be brought down by a trio of Badger defenders around the 40. So Matt Waters, your correct answer. I saw several folks on the Twitter machine, and that's where the answer has to come from. Those of you that have my personal cell phone, I mean, I appreciate you listening in, but let's go out for pizza sometime, Johan. Let's just do that instead of and just get a Twitter. You don't have to tweet to enjoy Twitter. You can just sit back and observe. So the correct answer, Matt Waters, and I believe Mike Jones was the winner of that one. Get him a pizza to the Council Bluffs Papa John's. Remember, when the Reavers win, so do you with that code Reavers 50, and the Reaver women won yesterday in overtime over Kirkwood, so that code is good today. 50% off. TJ Starks in trouble. Now he rushes out of trouble, and he's going to be wrapped up, giving chase on the play. Were numbers 96 and 99.
Yeah, TJ
Lieutenant Falatia.
Unfortunately, wasn't able to read the block. Yeah.
But he does gain 3 on it. Check it 4, and it's 2nd and 6. Fourth quarter, 11:48 to play. Iowa Western trails by a point. Starks takes the snap, drops back. Now we'll throw it down the field again. It's Marcel Barbie, and again, Marcel Barbie had it, and it's in and out of his hand.
He caught that. That never hit the turf.
They go call it incomplete.
That never hit the turf.
It doesn't matter. It was nearly a great catch. We'll get a chance to see it again on the replay. And here it is. Well, I don't know. What do you think? They say it's a catch down in the TV part. It doesn't matter. They call it incomplete. There's no replay in junior college football. 3rd down and 6 for the Reavers. And TJ Starks really likes to just chuck it up there for Marcel to go get. Starks again, empty backfield on 3rd and 6. Here comes pressure across the middle, and that one tipped, intended for Singleton, but it's incomplete. 4th down with 11:32 to play. Another big stop for Snow, and the Reavers punting unit trickles out onto the field.
Noah Purcell, middle linebacker, just get it in hand up. And
so the danger on that Marcel Barbie catch before, I thought maybe Snow would use that for an interception, but instead it was Marcel that comes up with it, but it's called incomplete.
Well, watching all the way through the play, he goes down, it bounces off his legs, and he sits up basically and catches it.
So Penninger will kick it away. Here comes heavy pressure from Snow. High end over and kick. Coming up to catch it is Leon Morgan, and they will get him at the 26-yard line. I believe that's where he fair caught that at. Let's see if that's where they have the spot. Reavers trail by a point, and Snow back out on the field. There's Leon Morgan getting the high five from head coach Paul Peterson.
And let's hope the defense can have another 3 and out, because we need it. We need all the time we can get to try to drive that football down.
11:25. Wouldn't be a game at the Unidome without some Creed being played. Reavers nearly jumped, and then getting back is Morris Joseph. Kerr will walk over to the sideline, watch the direct snap. Now delivers the information to his line. Here's the snap. Handoff to Warren. Jalen Warren to the outside. Jalen Warren still on his feet, and it's Monte McGarry that slows him down. He still goes, and finally wrapped up by Drew Dostal and Elijah James. But a heck of a run for Jalen Warren. That should move the chains again for Snow.
I think Warren was almost surprised that he wasn't tackled as he made it through there.
Penalty marker all the way in the backfield in the area of holding or roughing the passer. Hands to the face against the Reavers. He say 38?
He did say 38, but
we don't have a 38, my friend. So they'll tack on 15 yards to the end of that run, and that will move Snow all the way into Reaver territory at the 49-yard line. I can't even, is there even an 8 on the field? Handoff again, Warren slips. Right on that Panther logo at midfield, and sometimes that paint on the turf is a little bit slippery, and it proved to be that time.
No, we're just lucky on that one because he had some room to run, and here they're ready to go.
Kerr fakes the handoff. Here comes pressure. They'll dump it off to the backup tight end, and Drew Dostal will upend him, but not until another first down. Or is that a first down? Nope, shy of it.
They have a chance here on 3rd down to get them stopped. After luckily Warren slipped on 1st down.
And that was Ron Tiavasu, the backup tight end that caught that ball. Kerr again ready to go. Warren to his right. The orange jerseys of Snow College. Not sure he handled that very cleanly. Settles it down. Throw to the outside. Intended for Hess. And it's overthrown to the sideline. 4th down. Well, I don't know. What do? You're in Reaver territory. You go for it, don't you? Nope, they're going to try to pin him deep.
Yeah, they want to make sure if they're going to score, they're going to have to drive the length of the field to do so.
Penalty, I'm being told, was on number 30, Kalen Jennings, on that last play, not 38.
And that makes sense with the 0 kind of folded up, perhaps.
Oh, yeah. We're not the only ones that make that mistake, I suppose. 10:07 to play, 17-16. Reavers with a Tuffy Tyranado defensive stand. Bunker Weimer has faked it once. So the Reavers went back into full protect, and now Weimer will kick this one away. Beautiful looking kick. It'll bounce inside the 5 and into the end zone. So good news for Iowa Western. They'll start at the 20. 1st down and 10 for TJ Starks and company with 10 minutes to play. Iowa Western 3 turnovers, Snow with 2 of their own. The extra point, tell you what, it killed them down at Garden City, and it's killing them here.
Now, if you're the Reavers, you're looking for that big play, whether it be from Barbie, Richardson, Singleton, maybe Zachary gets involved. You just need a big play and get back on top of this one in the 4th quarter.
So Starks will set up again the safety valve. He'll throw quickly to Jamonte Richardson, tries to spin out of a tackle and does. Gets away from another, and now he'll surge forward as he spins across the 30 for a Reaver 1st down. That's brought to you by Barley's Bar and Grill on the historic 100 block of Broadway in downtown Council Bluffs.
Richardson has that big body. He's able just to kind of use it to shield the defender from the ball and make a great catch.
One of the top-rated receivers in JUCO, already committed back to the University of Kentucky. Starks sizing it up again. This one's overthrown, and it's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Snow at around the 25, and now a leg of steam for Jaquez Wright, and Wright is down. There's a penalty marker on the far side of the field, and another penalty marker comes down as a Reaver offensive lineman lays on the field. Snow College's trainer out to see if he needs attention, and then Andrew Moore will race over from the Reaver sideline along with Shannon Gear. I didn't see what the play was, but that penalty marker came in right after he collapsed to the ground, so maybe a bit of a cheap shot on the return for the Snow defense. But we won't know until they sort it out. And Snow, their players take a knee near the injured Reaver.
Well, and you've said it so many times, TJ has just thrown that ball up and let the receiver get underneath it, but that time
hung it up too much.
Yep, way too much. And
the third INT of the game for TJ. He's also fumbled once. Not the greatest game of his Reaver career, but he's got a chance if the team can get a stop to lead him back. First things first, though, we hope that our downed player is okay, and saw an absolutely horrific injury on the very first play of game 1 of today. And we wish the Monroe Mustangs injured player that said he was okay and surprisingly good spirits despite how it looked.
Yeah.
And he was planning to ride the bus home with his team, getting up off the ground, and I was afraid that's who it was. It's Alex Vendetti, starting center. Or is it?
Yeah, it is.
Thought so. Alex, of course, if you are a fan of Major League Baseball, you will possibly know the story of his uncle, Pat Vendetti, the ambidextrous pitcher who has surfed around the major leagues. I believe last I heard he was with the Dodgers last season. I don't think he didn't make the postseason roster, did he? So the Dodgers, of course, getting beat by the Red Sox in the World Series.
I'll tell you what, the Reaver offense is still kind of standing on the field.
They certainly are, and must be coming against Snow. Still haven't had any resolution as the referee explains what's going on to Coach Paul Peterson on the far sideline for Snow College.
Yeah, the Snow defense is coming back out, so perhaps they're going to get another shot at this one.
Well, this would be pretty huge. And if you're Coach Strohmeyer right now talking to your quarterback, and you've got to tell him, look, they've been able to go up and get it, but right now with 9:30 to play, you've got to take care of the football, and chucking it up there is not taking care of the football. Now, when they come down with it, it's great news.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they haven't come down with it the last couple of times.
But it's called a 50-50 ball for a reason.
And that you're right, Snow's defense still out there, so this is going against the Badgers.
I guess the question is, who do you bring out for center? I don't see anybody warming up.
Well, right now for the Reavers, they've taken Quentin Riker, I believe, is your man that's coming out. 68. He will be your start. He will be your center now.
Yeah, but a lot of times you see him like start taking those practice snaps on the sideline, getting ready to go.
Well, I guess you don't know Quentin Riker. He was born ready.
You just introduced me.
I don't think it's going to be Quentin Riker, though. Looks like here's your call.
The first foul was 12 men on the field, defense.
Okay, there's your go.
Penalties accepted. The next foul was a personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Iowa Western must decline that foul to take the first 5.
Okay. So there you go. The unsportsmanlike conduct, unnecessary roughness, got to be declined. That makes sense. I mean, you'd rather have the ball than just put them 15 yards back after an interception. So the Reavers do get another chance, and it's first down and 5, I believe, from the 37 when that's all said and done. And after all that was sorted out, now our stat guy has to get it, and he's got thumbs up. He's ready to go. Now the officials are ready to go. That was perfect timing. It's meant to be. Starks in the backfield along with Nifis West. Sophomore transfer running back. And TJ's ready to go. 14 seconds on the play clock. Here's the snap. A little bit high. Hands it off to West. West pushing forward. He's near a first down. Might have it. On 1st and 5, the Reavers will move the chains. Another Barley's Bar and Grill, first down and 10. Russ, I tell you what, and Alex Vendetti is okay. That is a huge turn of events. 12 men on the field against Snow.
Oh, yeah.
And negates the interception by Jaquez Wright. And a heck of a return as well.
I mean, it changes this ball game immensely.
Down a point, Reavers on the drive. Pressure coming. Starks falls down, and a penalty marker comes against the left tackle for the Reavers, Willie Tyler.
Yeah.
He tackled the defender. That's going to be a hold before falling down was Starks. Let's see if they'll take the 10 or if they'll give him another play. Yep, declined. So Starks falling down gives it an easy guess for Coach Peterson. Ball moved all the way back to the 32-yard line. It's 21 yards to go for the Reavers. Second down for Iowa Western. Man, if it's not one thing, it's another.
Yeah, and like I said, you were hoping that this fourth quarter was when, you know, the Reavers are going to start leaning on you, start wearing you down, and they haven't done it quite so much yet on offense.
Trip set to the near side on 3rd and 21. Starks, quick throw to the outside. Richardson has the catch, and he's slung down shy of the 40 by Alton Jones, number 29 for Snow. And 4th down. Was it 3rd down?
I was say,
it was, yeah, it was 2nd down, but they had moved for some reason. Yeah, on the penalty, they got the 1st down, and then the next play on the 1st down was where he fell down. So that should have been 2nd down. Is that what you have, Josh?
Everybody has it right except the chain gang.
Oh, that's awesome.
Scoreboard's right, stats are right up here. Of course, I might be biased towards my own statistics.
Here's your call. They got a first down on the run.
There was confusion on the number of downs. It is third down.
There you go, justified by the official. And the chain gang, hard-working guys, but sometimes even they get worn out. And, of course, they had to drive up today in the weather as well. So that's a stressful 4-hour, well, normally 4 hours, but you throw in some snow on the interstate, and it takes you a little bit longer. So now third down and 13. Empty backfield. Michael Zachary in the slot to the far side. Nafis West to the near side. Zachary will be out, but he won't get a chance. TJ Starks on the run. He crosses the 50, makes a move, and he's into the snow territory, and he's got a first down all the way to the 38. And here comes penalty markers.
They got to call that a penalty on number 35.
That's Jaquez Wright,
Yeah,
who had the interception. So Starks running out of bounds and popped again. And Wright pleading his case.
Well, Wright didn't hit the runner. He just basically took down a receiver down there, just drug him, just hip tossed him basically.
So they'll sort it out. Here's the call. Oh yeah, just flung him down wrestling style. First down for the Reavers. That's a huge penalty against Wright. Maybe a little frustration at the fact that his interception had been negated. And now that frustration, for whatever reason, comes through. And who was that? Marcel Barbie that he flung down? Barbie may be trying to block for his quarterback. And now the Reavers all the way to the snow 22-yard line. 7:52 to play. Badgers were involved in a little bit of a scuffle earlier this season. Here comes a blitz from the linebacker. They read it easily. Michael Zachary just taking the wrong lane. Got to the 20, and then instead of keeping it cut outside, he went right back inside against a snow defender.
Yeah, I thought he was going to cut that inside and just see what he had to work with, but cuts it outside right into the defender, as you said. And hopefully he starts making the better decision after he makes that catch. But first and foremost, at least he does make the catch, gets positive yardage.
So here we go. It is a throw down the field and incomplete, intended for Javante Richardson.
Javante is going to get a touchdown before this game is done. I'm saying it now. He's had a lot of near misses. That being another one, that was a near miss.
It's a bold prediction.
Well, if I do anything, it's make bold predictions.
6:59 to play. Hunter Penniger only 1 of 3 on field goals. Reavers hoping to convert. Starks, again the pocket holds, throw to the outside, nice play on the outside. What a play, as Richardson was the intended receiver, and that ball just slapped away by number 6.
Yeah, Tyler Hill right there.
Yep. Fantastic play.
Gets the hand right in the breadbasket of Richardson, so he can't just haul it in. So here we go. We got Eddie out here.
So Ogamba, who hasn't seen time for quite a while. Eddie will try it from 37 yards. 6:54 to play. Ogamba on the year is 3 of 7. Blast this kick. It's up, and it is good. The Reavers take the lead. Ogamba from 37 yards, and it's 19-17. Reavers with a 2-point lead, 6:51 to play. We're back after this on the Reavers Sports Network.
It's decision time. I want flexibility, more doing, hands-on experience, and working sooner. I gotta make a choice. I want to get started now. Find your path at iwcc.edu and get hands-on real-world experience. Start now at Iowa West.
For the Iowa Western Reavers, they take it 19-17, and it was quite the drive. Here's your Leach Camper drive summary with Russ Nelson.
You are right. 8 plays, 43 yards. Took a total of 3 minutes, 11 seconds off the clock. Eddie Ogama coming back out, makes the 37-yard field goal. We have a lead here in the fourth quarter, 19-17, Jake.
Leach Camper drive summary brought to you by our friends at Leach Camper online, leachcamper.com. And it will be Hunter Pinniger that will tee it up at the 35-yard line. Things that kept that drive going, I mean, look at it. You got 12 men on the field on an interception, and then a late hit or an unnecessary roughness, throwing a wide receiver down by the defensive back. And you're looking at a couple plays that kept that drive alive. Pinniger, little pooch kick, and it's fielded at the 23-yard line. Oh my goodness, the hits are coming. Man that fielded it is Keyshawn McCoy, the wide receiver. Pays the price, good little return though, and he gets past the 30. First down and 10 for the Badgers with 6:45 to go. Tell you what, we've seen some good games in this dome. One of them at 6-0 win for the Reavers over Butler in 2013. You talk about the most exciting 6-0 game you've ever seen. That was it, and this one is coming down to the wire as well. Snow with a chance to take the lead with a field goal or a touchdown.
Well, and then this is exactly kind of where you want to be. I mean, you'd want to be up a lot more, but you want that lead in the fourth quarter. Give your defense a chance to do what they've done basically all season long, which is shut down offenses.
And congrats, by the way, to Eddie Ogamba. What a play to come in after not seeing action in about the last 4 weeks of game action, plus the gap between the end of the regular season and the bowl game, and then being able to come in and punch it out. And it's a timeout for Snow College. Coaches didn't like what they saw on the Badger sideline as the Reaver dark side back out again, looking for a Tuffy Tire and Auto defensive stance. Reavers would like to thank Jaded Transportation for their sponsorship of the Reaver Sports Network. Also, we've mentioned them, but Tuffy Tire and Auto, Jim and the gang, I guess I should call him Roadkill and the gang. When you got a nickname like Roadkill, you can't use anything else but Tuffy Tire and Auto, just off of Kennedy Freeway on Cornhusker Road in Bellevue, Nebraska. And then, of course, our crew at the locker room outfitting the Reavers, and one of 25 elite three-stripe dealers in the country, and they are the official outfitters of Iowa Western athletic sports teams. 19-17 your score, as Kerr will hand it off to another one of the backup tailbacks, and we've seen Weston Barlow.
Yeah, they fake it to Warren and then pitch it out to Barlow. So the Reavers got to make sure to keep track of who has the football, because the Badgers are probably going to try to get tricky one more time before this game's done.
Kerr again, he'll throw down the seam. It's got to be complete. And what a play by Derek Wright. He leaped up and then turned and made a few more yards. Good job getting up in coverage.
Well, that was scary because, yeah, if he comes down and they miss a tackle, he's off to the races.
Again, your score 19-17 on the Eddie Ogamba field goal. Nice tackle for the Reavers. Good job getting there for Corey Hernandez. As Barlow, check that was Warren. No, it is Barlow. Weston Barlow, the sophomore out of Queen Creek, Arizona, in the Phoenix area. Running to the left side at the 50-yard line. Hand off to Warren. Jalen Warren across the 50 and brought down. Great tackle by Devin Drew.
And I tell you what, like we've said all game long, they figured out the secret of bringing down Warren. They just got to wrap him up around those legs. You can't go for the big hit. He's too strong of a runner. He'll run right through it. But they've done a great job of bottling up Warren as this game has progressed.
3rd down and 7. Snow with the football at the 48-yard line of Iowa Western. Their footballs with the orange threading. Set to go is Braxton Kerr. Points out a defender to the left. Let's see if it was bait. He drops back, pressure coming, throw to the outside, and that ball is tipped away. On the far sideline, Rodney Owens and Daniel Isom with the defense. 4th down and 7 for Snow with 5:01 to play.
And with 5:01, your defense is playing great, but it really puts you in a difficult situation. And it looks like they're going to punt the football, but we've seen them do a fake punt already this evening, so special teams has to be awake. Watch what Bunker Weimer's going to do.
So Weimer ready. Here's the snap. Weimer steps up, thought about it, and now we'll boot it down the field. Michael Zachary is there inside the 15. What was that? A fair catch called for by number one?
It was. It was.
Okay. And the Reavers with 4:53 have got the football.
I think that they probably said, hey, let's not take a chance. Just call the fair catch and let's get our offense out there.
Are there penalty markers down? Must be somewhere. Not sure what it could be when a fair catch, but looks like it'll be something against the Reavers. Referee talking it over with the Snow coaching staff. Here's the call. So offside against Marcel Barbie for the Reavers?
Yeah, and they decline it because they know how dangerous Michael Zachary is. I guess they decided
it would have made it 4th and 2, and they were going to punt it anyway. So they decline it, and it's 1st and 10 for Iowa Western. Ball spotted. It looks like they got it at the 14. Josh, is that what you've got down there?
It is now. I had them a little further up.
Okay. Well, we'll take what the officials say. 4:53 to play. Reavers' last drive sustained by some miscues by Snow, and they get the big field goal, 37 yards by Eddie Ogamba. Handoff, and that looks like a face mask on the other side. No call, and a couple yards maybe to the 16-yard line.
And I tell you what's going to also loom large at the end of this ball game is Snow only has one timeout left.
Reavers have got all three here in the second half. It was Iowa Western that burned theirs quickly in the first half. Nafis West on that last carry for 2 yards. Makes it 2nd down and 8.
If you're the Reavers, you're in no hurry right now. Keep that clock moving.
Play clock at 12. TJ Starks, low snap. He will run behind the Reaver line and not much more to go. Good news, Alex Vendetti's back out there.
Great news.
They will get 2 more yards. It's 3rd and 6 for the Reavers from their own 19-yard line.
Do we see maybe a quick little pass to the outside?
Nafis West comes out in favor of Javante Richardson, and tight end Tanner Murphy has checked in for some blocking help in the backfield. Empty backfield for TJ Starks. Stack set is Marcel Barbie and Michael Zachary. And now the snap is off the hand of TJ Starks. He wasn't ready. The snap came in, and the Reavers are going to have to kick it away. So you talk about miscues on the last drive by Snow. This time it's Iowa Western with a costly miscue.
Well, thank goodness that they were able to fall on the ball, and it doesn't cost them ultimately, because we did see a turnover about this point in the field, and that turned into points for Snow. So now what we need to wish for is a solid snap and a nice punt by Hunter Pinniger.
So Pinniger coming in. And for those listening and watching on the YouTube, the clock that's running on the broadcast is not the official clock. That is separate from the game clock that's actually in the stadium. So if the clock is still running and you think it's unjustly running, that's not the game clock, folks. So just relax. It's 2:53 remaining in this one. Reavers will be ready to kick it away on 4th down and 10 from the 14.
Reavers taking one of their timeouts, so now they're left with 2. As the game clock was set to expire.
They will avoid the penalty and be ready to kick it away.
Excuse me, the play clock, not the game clock. That'd be great, though.
We know what you meant. 2:53 to play, and it is Leon Morgan, dangerous weapon, back for Snow. He stands on the Badgers side of the 50. If Hunter Pinniger is going to have a 70-yard kick, now's the time. You're welcome, Chubbs TV. Looking out for you, man. Here's the snap. Perfect to Pinniger. Pressure coming, and maybe he got a piece of it. The ball bounces at the 35 and now continues to roll forward and into Snow territory. That's a huge bounce, but I'm not so sure that he got that off cleanly.
Yeah, I think there had to have been a fingertip on that one, the way it looked in the air.
Let's see who got a piece of it on the replay that we see. And yeah, that's a great rush. I believe it was Connor Smith that got in there with a fingertip and slowed that punt down. Still, it takes a good Reaver roll, and Snow College with their 2-minute offense ready to go. And when you got a quarterback as a head coach, nothing is out of the realm. Kerr will give it to the belly of Jalen Warren, and now Warren into the backfield. 30, 25, down to the 20, and a huge run for the Snow College Badgers. That puts them in field goal range on play number 1 of a drive with 2:31 remaining. And that's a huge, huge run for Jalen Warren.
Yeah, puts them right into it. And after we think that Warren's been bottled up all game, he goes off and does a run like that.
Warren in his gold shoes busts the line all the way to the 20-yard line. What a run. And again, so fast, hitting the hole. And he killed it on that one. Braxton Kerr with twins to either side. Jalen Warren, nation's leading per-game rusher, might be the hero. Another handoff. No, it's Kerr, and he will throw it down the field. Might have been intended for Derek Wright, but Wright cut in, and Kerr just slung it down toward the end zone. So maybe some miscommunication.
And they barely got that snap off before
Second
play clock.
Down and 10 for the Badgers. But again, that puts James Baird well within his range. And down 2, that's a place you want to be. Here's an option look. Kerr will tuck it and run. Gets inside the 20 and then is bottled up by Rodney Owens and another Reaver. Getting off the bottom of that stack, that's Elijah James that is helped up by a Badger. That gets the football to the 18-yard line. And a timeout perhaps for Snow? No, for the Reavers. They're trying to save some clock. 1:42 and a big third down coming. Snow could inch a little bit closer to the goal line, or Reavers can force a field goal attempt. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the Reavers Sports Network.
The Dr. John and Jean Marshall Wellness Center, opening summer of 2019.
Third down and 8 for Snow College out of the timeout. They'll send a man in motion. Braxton Kerr sizing up. Man in motion was open. That one batted down at the line of scrimmage. Devin Drew is there for the Reavers. Oh, man, what a play for Devin.
And I'm pretty sure I saw Coach Terry talking to the D-line, telling them get those hands up, and that's exactly what they did. And Devin was able to bat that ball away, so here we go. This is a big play in the ball game.
The kicking has been the Achilles heel for the Reavers all year, and it's a pretty good place for that injury to be. And Eddie Ogamba put him up with a 37-yarder. James Baird on to attempt a 35-yarder. Reavers come offside. Will it be a false start or is it offside? 5 yards closer doesn't help Iowa Western's case any. There's a minute 38 on the clock here in the stadium from Cedar Falls, Iowa.
Number 73 down there for the Badgers almost looks like he's trying to plead his case.
Well, that'll push him 5 yards back, so doesn't necessarily kill it. It's still only a 40-yard attempt. And his longest on the year, we've discussed, 49 yards. There aren't many fans here because of the weather that we've seen. in the Omaha Council Bluffs Metro. But they are being vocal right now, and some of those fans, obviously, the Reaver cheer team on that far sideline. And now they call offside against the Reavers. So the pleading worked. And Perrion Winfrey, the man. Perrion might be the most penalized Reaver this season as far as offside penalties go. He's just excited to get to the quarterback.
He is.
This time he was excited to get to the kicker. So that will move him 5 yards closer. Ball at the 13. So now a 30-yard chip shot for James Baird, the sophomore out of Northridge, Utah. Minute 38 on the clock. It'll be 3 seconds less than that after this kick. Reavers bring pressure, and the kick high and no good.
Oh,
wide right. Baird missed it. What a break for the Reavers.
How high up did he kick that?
It did not hit the ceiling, but it was pretty close. And what a break for Iowa Western. Oh my goodness. Finally the kicking working for them. It's the kicking of the other team.
So a minute 35.
My goodness.
Snow still has one timeout.
Telling you what, you got to recruit kickers, man. No matter what side of the football you're on, and I know that people do, and people laugh when kickers are taken high in the draft, but you look at Sebastian Janikowski, who kicked for the Raiders for years and years. That's a piece of the puzzle that you don't want to have to go looking for game by game, and you've seen it this season in the NFL where you've got kickers fired week after week because they just can't figure it out.
Yeah, and it's similar to being a reliever in baseball. You have to have so much mental toughness to do that job.
TJ Starks will hand it off to Nifeast West, and Nifeast across the 25, and it'll be a second down and 5 for Iowa Western. Holy smokes. And a timeout for Snow College. Coaches on the sideline in their Under Armour gear. Reavers and Adidas school. There's Coach Peterson, hoping for another opportunity for his offense. And I tell you what, 8 touchdowns defensively this season for the Snow College Badgers. This game is far from over. 30 seconds remaining in the fourth.
And we're not trying to sponsor Pepto, but man, I've needed a lot of antacid to calm my stomach during this ball game.
I told you not to eat the chili at halftime.
Well, and it's not the chili that's doing it. It's just been the up and down of this ball game, and maybe a little bit of the chili.
Reavers in the black, Snow in the orange. Badgers hoping for a big stop. There it is. They get in the backfield quickly. They can't stop the clock, though. And why was there only 30 seconds on the clock before? Now it's back to a minute 21. Was that the timeout that they had put up there?
Well, I heard him say reset the game clock to a minute 35.
Okay, so maybe the guys up here were eating some chili and forgot to focus on what they were doing. Minute 8 to go on the game clock. I thought that was awful low when I said it, but I said it anyway. Clock ticking down, 9 seconds on the play clock. Reavers will lower. It's 3rd and 8. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, 1. Starks takes the handoff, and again it's West pushing forward, and it's 4th down and about 7 to go. With they'll punt it away, and Snow will have the punt return, and that's all. And I tell you what, if you're going to have a weapon, you might as well have Leon Morgan.
Oh, that's for sure.
He came out on the field briefly. I think the Reavers are going to call a timeout here. They're going to walk this one down to 4 seconds remaining. And what a gut-wrenching feeling. Reavers felt it against Garden City when they didn't have any time left. Only seconds left to try to do some sort of miracle on the kickoff that came after that game-winning field goal by the Broncbusters. And now for Snow, a hard-fought game, and they come up a missed field goal of leading this one. 5 seconds remaining. Reavers call a timeout. So the 30-second timeout, and you don't necessarily kick it away, do you? Snap the ball and run around for 5 seconds and slide down.
Yeah, basically, I mean, if you snap the ball and just make sure you get that snap first and foremost.
So they won't punt it away.
There's no way the offense can come running out on the field and be ready in that amount of time.
Well, they will stop the clock on the change of possession, obviously.
Yeah, but even if you get it, it should automatically start up.
Well, here's the danger. If you do that and you leave a second on the clock, they can run out the field goal unit. And that's certainly not what you want to do, is give James Baird another chance after he knows exactly what he did on the previous play.
Now you see Hunter Pinnaker back there. I guess the question is, where does he punt this ball? I'd put it out of bounds.
Yep, that's a pretty safe place to put it. Of course, again, it's all mental.
And I tell you what, he does have enough to get this run around a bit and then take a knee.
Vance Gibson has got to get a good snap. Snow going to bring the house. 5 seconds on the game clock. Low snap, Pinnaker rushing out, and he gets it away. End over end, and that's a great tackle right there. Waiting for Morgan to make the catch and then bringing him down. How about that? It's Vance Gibson, the long snapper, streaking down the field. He waited for Morgan to haul it in. Morgan caught it, and Gibson held on without letting go, and the Reavers are victorious. The final score, 19-17 over the Snow College Badgers. What a game to close out the NJCAA football season, and a great game between two fantastic ball teams and two fantastic coaching staffs. And man, oh man, it's always good to come out on the right side of the score, and you feel almost like, well, you don't feel bad that the Reavers won, but you think, wow, they were lucky to escape for sure.
We definitely know the feeling of missing from a kicking miscue, and so we know what Snow feels right now, but we'll gladly take the win.
Absolutely. We've got our post-game wrap-up coming your way. It's going to be brought to you by 712 Eat and Drink on Madison Avenue in Council Bluffs, just off of Interstate 80. As Iowa Western victorious today, 19-17. We thank everybody for tuning in today, including those in the St. Pete and Sevier counties in Utah, those on Snow TV. We're happy to bring you the broadcast, and we hope that, well, you didn't cuss at your TV or your monitor too much, as, of course, we have deep love for the Reavers, but a fantastic ball team that Coach Peterson brought to town. And, of course, congratulations to Coach Scott Strohmeyer for the big win today here to get his 6th 10-win season in 10 seasons of coaching in Council Bluffs. An unbelievable run for the Iowa Western Reavers. Thanks to all the crew that brought it to you, including the students that came up this morning in some very treacherous weather. And, of course, Craig Carlson is the man that put it all together. He and J.J. Davis and Iowa Western Television put some great things together. Make sure you give them a follow on YouTube. And we thank Brent Pentecost, Creighton Elwood, Jake Wright, Brian Tessmer, Matt Stein, and I believe that rounds out the crew on the cameras and working their way around. They have done a nice job today of bringing you today's broadcast. And for our crew up here, Travis Jacobson, Josh Otson, Russ Nelson, and Jake Ryan. Your final score again, 19-17. Your 7-1-2 post-game wrap-up coming your way. We'll talk with the victorious head coach, Scott Strohmeyer, as the Reavers get a win in the 2018 Champions game of the Graphic Edge Bowl. You've been listening to exclusive coverage of Iowa Western Reaver football on the Reaver Sports Network. We welcome all those still watching on the stream, and of course those listening on 89.7 The River. Jake Ryan, Travis Jacobson, Russ Nelson, and Josh Odson, and of course the head coach, Scott Strohmeyer, joining us for our Quorum's conversation with the coach. We're going to invite you up here, but there's too many stairs, Coach.
I appreciate it. I'm dying right now.
I bet you are. An exciting game, 19-17, your final. You ask for it all season long. You get it playing in those Jayhawk schools. You get it playing your Iowa Community College brethren. Another great football game against a great coaching staff, and you guys survive. And an unlikely hero today, Eddie Ogamba, with a 37-yarder to put you ahead. Their kicker, usually pretty steady, misses wide right, and you hang on in an exciting football game here this afternoon.
I'll tell you what, I'm proud of our guys that kept fighting, and we were down to the last. I don't know if we could have played another 5 minutes, just with injuries, and we had guys hobbled and just dead tired. But I told them at halftime, whatever you got to do for 30 minutes, leave it out there, and they did.
Well, you get the win today, and you called upon. Let's talk about the decision to go with Eddie Ogamba. He has not kicked for, well, the better part of a month, and you brought Hunter Pinniger in a few games at the end of the regular season to kick. He had done a nice job. He just couldn't get it figured out, but you bring Eddie off the bench, and talk about a clutch kick.
I'm so happy for him. You know, it's like all the other times, you know, kids, things don't go their way and they want to jump and get out or quit or whatever, and Eddie just kept kicking and kept kicking. And there's times where he probably thought that he should get an opportunity, and it was out of halftime, and I'm watching him kick, you know, coming out here after halftime, and, you know, I just went to Coach Marietta. I'm like, if we have to, let's use Eddie. And, you know, we missed that one, and they aren't all Hunter's fault, you know, for whatever reason they weren't going through, and that last one I'm just like, let's do it. And Eddie went out there and banged it through. So a guy just to stick with it, and I'm so happy for him.
How about a guy that got chased all over the field today, your starting quarterback, TJ Starks? He throws for a couple of touchdowns, made a couple of mistakes, but he also made the plays when he needed to.
He did, you know. He got hurt early on. It was that ankle, and I was a little bit concerned. And, you know, when they taped him up, and I thought he'd give it a shot. And, you know, he just made some plays. We knew it was going to be tough. Their D-line's really good, and you know, we felt we could throw the football on them. But we had to protect a little bit better. But, you know, when you make plays when you have to, and like I told him, I'm like, just a gutty performance. I need you. Give me it till the end, you know, and that's what he did.
Russ Nelson, Jake Ryan talking with head coach Scott Strohmeyer. Well, we talked about, you know, some of those mistakes that TJ made, but for the most part, your defense came up big every time they had to when their backs were against the wall. And one player in particular, again, that does it yet again is Willie O'Hara. I mean, how much faith did you have in your defense all game long?
Well, I did. I mean, they're a good offense, and you know, I felt our guys played extremely hard, and they got some plays on us, but that happens when you have a month to prepare for somebody, you know, and they just kept battling back, and got them in situations. And, you know, I mean, at the end of the game there, you know, where we had to punt it, or even before that, you know, we were going to be pretty conservative with 5 minutes to go. And, you know, again, if we have to rely on our defense, we are going to have to rely on our defense. And, you know, we were fortunate enough, like I said, to do it.
Coach, your 10th season of coaching in Council Bluffs. When you came there, it was if Iowa Western has a football team, you got to get that job. And you went 5-4 in that first season, and how quickly it turned. And now tonight, you celebrate. Well, let's go back a year. You celebrate your 100th career victory here on this field, and now tonight you get your 6th 10-win season in 10 years of playing. I mean, that's an unbelievable number, Coach.
Well, a lot of good players and a lot of good coaches. It's been fun. You know, I think just the fact that you have, you know, an administration that supports it and gives you some resources to be successful. That's why you're at a place for 10 years, you know, and more. But, I mean, I never would have, you know, to say 6-10 wins. Someday down the road, maybe, you know, I don't know, when I get a little bit older, I'll look back on it and, you know, think that it's pretty good. But again, a lot of this got to go to a lot of players and a lot of coaches. That first team, that first recruiting class, that really set the groundwork for success. And then that 12 team that won it really put belief into our guys that, or anybody who comes here, we're going to compete for championships.
Let's look at the fact that you got here not only with great players and great coaches along with you, but you get here with a lot of great people, and you look at the field right now, and there's a lot of family on the field with their kids and with their coaches, the wives and kids and family members, and you look at what happened yesterday, a 16th birthday in your family. Emily celebrates that. You have a daughter that's exactly 10 years old. She's played along with her. I mean, how important to you, I know we've asked you this before, but you look at sports as kind of I don't know, you look at life, and you can't do it without your family, and you've done it with great support staff and a great support staff at home too.
Well, nobody can be in this profession this long, and I haven't even been in it that long, but without support at home.
Oh, you're a little long in the teeth.
We're, you're away a lot, and Carla's got to do all the running to practices, and it's unfortunately their schedules are my schedule too. So sometimes they can't do things because maybe I'm out of town or we're doing something. So you need that support. And shoot, we've been talking for 10 years. Emily thinks of her birthday as a football game now, because we've been playing in bowl games for 9 of the years. 2 of them they weren't at, but the rest of them they were here or celebrating her birthday there. So it's kind of neat. That's a way for us to get together and celebrate that, and hopefully get a win.
All right, Coach, congratulations on a great win over a great team, and you get win number 10 to boot. You have Willie O'Hara set the single season, and then now the career tackle record. You get a gutsy performance from pretty much every guy on your offensive line. Your defensive line is spectacular, and a lot of good dudes come through here each and every year, and we thank you for doing your part and your staff for doing their part on making sure that Iowa Western Reaver football is well respected both on and off the field. So thank you very much for everything you do.
Well, thank you guys for all you do too, traveling around and coming in and following or supporting us, and the jobs that you guys do too. I appreciate it.
All right, good. That's the pat on the back we were looking for, Coach. Enjoy the win. Please drive safely on the way home.
Thanks, you too.
Head Coach Scott Strohmeyer, that's our Quorum's conversation with the coach, brought to you by our friends at Quorum's Flowers in downtown Council Bluffs. More from the Unidome in Cedar Falls, Iowa. We'll wrap up the 7-1-2 Eat, Drink post-game wrap-up right after this as you look down the field and big old Dave Tollefson giving a hug to Eddie Ogamba. Defensive line guy, and actually you look at everything. I just can't believe that he did it. That's unbelievable. So congratulations to everybody involved today. What a win for the Reavers, and they close out another double-digit win season right here on the turf at the Unidome. Back in a moment on the Reaver Sports Network.